Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
Donnie Houston.
Yeah, man, it's going down this Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We here with a special guest, you know what I'm saying? Live from off the record in downtown Houston. Listen, man, today's guest, man, is he's been around this age doing this thing, man. I'm talking about 25, almost 30 years at this point, man. It's hard to believe.
Nah, for real.
Man, I'm talking about coming out of that H representing Yellowstone, man. Came up under some of the livest cats to come out of this city with Big Pokey. Did some work with Boss Hogg Outlawz. Man, just been all over, man. You know what I mean? I'm glad to have him here. My boy, man, Chris Ward.
What's happening in the world? What's up with it? Coming up on them 23 summers.
Yeah.
23 summers.
Is it just 23?
Something like that. I was hanging around in the mix, out the mix. But for me, it's like 23 summers. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say more than that, because Dope Game 2000 was 2000.
Seasons.
It's 20. That was 26.
Them right there.
That's like 26 years ago now. Just one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Man, hold up, man. What's going down, man? Brand new project. You know what I'm saying? That's me, Volume 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we on. We on till we gone.
Yeah, talk about it, man.
Man, we up. You know what I mean? Really just was like chilling and ended up putting it together. Like, I had some records and then that I was sitting on, and then I was just rethinking to myself, you know, should I put it out? Should I not? Because I really play the background really well. Like, my sweet spot is the blend in and being I blend well. And I was just chilling and people was asking me for music, people trying to get me to put out music. I wanted to put out music. Then, everybody, I found a couple people with their hand in the pot on a couple projects with me and Poke that we had that I was trying to figure out how to divide the bread on or whatever that I was going to put out with them. But he told me to keep because they was all the mixtape projects, just stuff like that. And I wanted to figure out how to divide the pie. And I'm like, you a sneak thief. That's a bet. You know what I mean? So I really was just chilling, man, and just coming off of everything happening in real life with so much going on, trying to figure out if I'm really just want to digress a little more or just stay in a cool spot. And then talk to my OG homie, man, two of them actually, and he was just on me about doing it along with some other people, and I was like, all right, bet, and we just started whipping up some stuff along with what I had, put it together, and it was easy work because I already had some of the work. And then I did the other groundwork, because I always do groundwork when I'm doing groundwork. So while I did that, I already had groundwork for another one, which I had groundwork for another one, which I was sitting on some more work. That's how I ended up sitting on the mixtape portions of everything that I still had that we had. So yeah, we came out, man, it's nice. Like the people, the responses to everything, the DJs, the people, the streets, the fans, the people, the family, however it go. Because I consider, if you're a fan, I consider you family, really. You know what I mean? Because shit, if you feel like you grew up on me, you really grew up with me. You know what I mean? So that's the move. And yeah, it's good. I wouldn't really know what to say much about it until you ask me about it, because I ain't good at talking about myself, I don't think.
Yeah, nah. Like I told you, bro, I know the interview ain't the thing, but shit, we chop it up all the time. Just on some player shit, you know what I mean? This ain't no different than that, man. Just cameras and lights here this time.
Nah, facts. Right.
What's my name though, man? You know what I'm saying? Influenced by the Snoop Dogg of the same name record, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That boy Chris Ward.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Ronetta Spencer on the hook going crazy.
Nah, for real.
I'm talking about sounding good, man.
For real, I kind of knew Ronetta, like, so when I was a kid, she was a child, like she was a baby, really. So there's pictures with like me, her, and Big Mo, where I'm like 16, 17, and she in the club with us or wherever we was, you know what I mean? But she sung the hook on Bar Baby, of course, so she a legend in her own right. She superstar status, right? And I've been sitting on that record really forever. So what's crazy about that, real quick backstory, when Pope, Hawk, and Mo and everybody, they had they anthem songs, Hawk got H-A-W-K, Pope got Hardest Pit, Untamed Gorilla, and he had Sensei, which he had
the name songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Mo had, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, bet. That was the record I wanted to do. I never could find nobody who could really do the track, so I just left it alone. Never worried about it, never tried. I was like, yeah, that's the one I'm gonna cook. But I had I pretty much had the flow and everything for it for summers, you know what I mean? And then I was talking to OG Fry one day, and he was like, man, you ain't never done nothing off that Snoop, man. You need to do something off of that Snoop, dog. I'm like, and when he said it, I was like, oh, I got something. He was like, man, I was like, nah, I got something right now. You know what I mean? I was like, I know what to do. And for some reason, I don't know why I ain't been thought about it, but it was good. He sparked my brain. And I thought about Mr. Lee and my homie Cinematic on the beat, so I hit them up. And they collabed on the track for me, did it, and everything, boom. I laced it. I took a couple tracks out. Like, I told them to send me the whole everything. I got the whole session, everything. And then I was like, I listened to it, and I was like, hey, pull out these, what track is this and what track is that? And it was like 19 and 21. I was like, pull out 19 and 21. But send the whole, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I laid the track. And what's funny, I got to put him on the spot. So she was like, yeah, it's cool, like it's jamming. You know what I mean? I used to be with George Clinton. I don't know. Like, I say, nah, it's going to be good. Watch. Wait till I go to Bruce Bang. You going to see, like, he was like, yeah, it should probably be the outro. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. We go to Bang. I already knew what to do because that's what we do. We go to cutting it surgically, just sizing it up, right? And I tell him, he don't never go to the studio for nothing or really with nobody. He went when I recorded that and Cam made him come to the session while we was mixing by like 12 records at once. I was like, watch this. So I have him come in the session and I tell Bruce what to do and then we do it, whatever. I say, yeah, I walk out, go get some tacos. Ironically, you know what I mean? So boom, I walk to the taco truck. I come back over there, they in there feeling it. You know what I mean? So he was done. I say, hey, find track 19 and 21, add them back in, but put them here, here, and here. You know what I mean? Because if we placed them in, he called me like the next day. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, that might need to be the intro. I'm like, yeah, all right. I'm like, bet, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, you got me. I was like, yeah, I already know. So that's how we end up rocking that. And it turned out dope, man. But we had like a listening party, and everybody took to it. That was one of the records that everybody liked, you know what I mean? Because we did a whole list and had everybody write down what they like, don't like, what they like the most. You know, basically 4 stars, 3 stars, 5 stars, 2 stars, why you like this, that, and the third. And that was one of the ones.
Man, talk about a hopscotch with Killa and Power Wild, man.
That was crazy, because, so hopscotch, I never done a record with Wallpaper before, you know what I mean? And I hadn't done a record with Killa in like, I don't know how long. And then I know when I did the record, what was crazy was I was thinking about, I bet who I know that we could do this, like this, and then be on the end of it. And then I'm like, me, Killa, and Wallpaper, they ain't got nothing together. So that's something new to the people for sure. Even whether you throwback, middle child, young child, BG, OG, middle child, whatever you want to, however you want to place it. And Killa came and did his. I had did my verse. I had been done it. Like, it was like probably really one of the first records I done since the situation. I hadn't recorded in like a whole 2 years or whatever, or a whole year and a half. And I usually always be doing something for somebody. I just shut down after everything, whatnot, but we'll get to that, right? And then Killa, he do what he do, came through and shut it down for me. Wallpaper sent his bag, like, man, whatever you need to do. And I just told him, hey, I'm gonna end it, but I'm gonna probably end it. And they just we camouflaged and we ended, and they did that. And at the end of both of their verses, I backdoor them, then they do the hook, and that's what made it special. And then I end up doing, the video too is dope, and then I end up doing a remix with Youngster and Road. That's what's crazy. Hopscotch 2 is on some other time. And it was crazy because I was trying to figure out, like, I end up talking to Young and talking to Roll. I be out the loop, so I just, you know what I mean? I just hit them. Like, whoever hit back, I'm gonna put them on a remix. I had an idea for it or whatever. They both hit back, like, instantaneously, but what was crazy was, like, in the same day, and Young was like, I was talking to Roll and was like, yeah, we probably just go back and forth, or you just do your thing, whatever, we'll figure it out. And he was like, all right. Then Young texts back and he was like, yeah, let's go back and forth. And I was like, man, I ain't even tell nobody about none of that. So Young texts me like 2 bars. I text him 2 bars. He texts back 2 bars. He killed it. I'm like, oh, okay. So we text about 8 bars, like literally on the phone, like back and forth, like a freestyle. Then Rogers up and called me out the blue. And I pulled up on him. And we was cool. And then he had to make him run to the hospital. And he was like, bro, you just stay here at the house and jam music. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna run with you. It's on family time, bro. We run with you to the hospital. We ain't tripping. We run to the hospital and we go back. I'm like, man, I'm cool. We can just chill out. We double backspin on that. He like, nah, we gotta lay it. I gotta rap. We gotta rap. I want to rap with you. Let's do it now. And then we just did. I was like a freestyle. He did 2 bars. I did 2 bars, back and forth. And I ain't gonna lie, it's beast. So Hopscotch and then Hopscotch 2, that makes both of them beastie all together. So it's really dope for real. You know what I mean? It's just so great to be able to have the legends involved. Cause you know what I mean? I be cooling. So I got records with most of the legends or whatever. Like, so that's what's dope to be a part of the legendary thing that they got going. Cause everybody we talking about is worldwide, nationwide, pretty much. They are. You know what I'm saying? Young been on since he was young. You know what I mean? Ro been on since however Wallpaper been on. You know what I'm saying? Before Sitting Sideways, you know, Killa been on. So, you know, really, I'm probably the only one out the loop. You know what I mean? So it was just dope to be able to create all that, and we come up with that like that. So yeah, it's really special, bro. You know what I mean? Which one you was messing with that? What's my name? Pretty much, huh?
I bet you What's My Name, but I really like 10 Blocks though, bro.
10 Blocks. You rock with 10 Blocks?
I like 10 Blocks. I ain't gonna lie.
10 Blocks hard.
I like 10 Blocks.
Yeah, 10 Blocks hard. 10 Blocks is kind of real quick. 10 Blocks is really kind of like, man.
Cause that sounds like it's based off something for real. You know what I'm saying?
It is. But the way it sounds like, what's crazy is, if you don't know, 10 Blocks sound like it's 4 people involved. And then if you don't look, no, it sounds like it's either 3 people involved or 4 people, but it's really only 2 people involved. So 10 Blocks is the storyline of, it would be like me and somebody right here, broke up with and hit a lick for 10 blocks. Guess she under, and then after that it's like, woke up with my new chick and hit a lick for 10 blocks, but really my old chick and my new chick is the same person. And really, when I say, now my old boo with her new boo, mad, sad with her, that's me. I'm the old boo, but I'm the new boo now, feel me? So the way it's crazy is like, I'm just talking in third person about like myself, really, you know what I'm saying, in this situation. But really kind of almost really talking down on myself, because it's a reality check. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just if you had somebody or been with somebody and then y'all stop being together and then you try it again, but you really just probably ain't ready from all of the things that's happening or transpiring at the time or in life, because a lot of things happen so fast, so quick, to where it was like, you know what I mean? It seems like it's ready, but it's not ready. It's just like a lot of going on. But if you open your mind up and really listen to it from a different perspective, it's me talking in third person about me from 2 different angles. This is one angle, this is the other angle. This is the old version, new version versus each other. And the situation itself is the old version versus the new version. You see what I'm saying? So next time you hear it, if you hadn't heard it like that, because knowing you might have heard it like that, but next time you listen to it, you'll see what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But 10 Blocks is dope. I ain't gonna lie, that's like Mr. Lee and Cinematt. That's the same people that made Hopscotch. I ain't gonna lie, they sent me that and I was like, I had a conversation with myself about something, and then went to see my my young bull, and was talking to the family or whatever, and I was like, man, you know what? This made me think of something, and I thought of that and did that, and it came to my mind like that, and I laid it in the next like 2 days or something. That was actually one of the new records that went on that project. Yeah, 10 Blocks hard. I mean, 10 Blocks smooth.
That's probably my favorite on that. You know?
For real though?
Yeah,
we locked in then. We locked in like a password. Yeah. Bet.
Yeah. But man, going back a little bit, bro, you know, you always like I said, you came up under, you know, Hog Pokey, you know what I'm saying? Facts. Everybody always talked about Chris Ward like he's gonna be the next guy. You know what I'm saying? And I say it all the time, for the guys within your generation of the whole screwed up thing, you Flip, Young, you know, Gorilla Mob, that whole thing. Like a lot of people in my age group, we loved the Keys and a lot of the original guys that first came out, but we really gravitated and related to a lot of y'all too, because y'all were closer to our age, you know what I'm saying? So it was like the newer, you know, a lot of that old shit that we love, traditional shit with a new flavor, you know what I'm saying? And you were coming along with a new style and the wordplay and the slick flow and, you know what I'm saying, all that shit, man. But just talk about just coming up in Yellowstone, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Yellowstone, it's a cool place. Like, it's really like, Yellowstone is a dope place, like for real. I think I said to somebody, I was talking to somebody, man, it's like the 300. You know what I mean? It's like watching the movie 300, because it's like we just small, compacted area, you know what I mean? And then we got like this one center block that has like these 1.5 stories, and then everybody else have 1 stories around. But the back streets is over here, the back streets is over here, then we got the Jecks right here, you got South Lawn, you got Missionary, we all like this gumbo pot, and we right between Third Ward, between OST. But it's like a lot of people over there mostly stay like probably with their grandparents. As you grow up and you realize everybody kind of, your parents stay with your grandparents, like we ain't in the ghetto, but we in the ghetto. It's kind of like every hood is the same in a sense, you know what I mean? And it's really kind of crazy, like even when I go to other towns, other cities, and we'll probably touch on that at some point, some kind of way, I'm sure it'll probably make sense. But yeah, it was like that, man, but everything happened at the park. Everything you would do, you would be at the park. I grew up around there, like around Big Bro and them. I met them, you know what I'm saying? It was love. They took a liking to me through Haircut Joe. He would cut because you wanted to get your haircut by who, you know what I'm saying?
So Haircut, first of all, recipes Haircut Joe.
Yeah, God bless.
But he was like the neighborhood barber, who was a Southside legend within his own right. You know what I'm saying?
Real neighborhood barber, yeah, for sure, he was.
So y'all were both, so you and Poke were both going to Haircut Joe?
Well, Poke stayed on Ward Street, and I had a partner stayed on Ward Street, and Haircut Joe lived cattle corner from Poke on Ward Street, and my other partner lived cattle corner from Poke on Ward Street. And then DEA dead end. They used to Ward Street was Ward Street, my last name, Ward, whatever, you know, I feel like, yeah, it's my hood. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so all that was just simultaneously happening, but we both went to Haircut Joe. And I want to say that's like the more times we met was mostly at Haircut Joe. You know what I'm saying? I'm like in like going to like starting middle school, because Haircut Joe, everybody went to Haircut Joe. If you wanted the Southside fade or the silly swirl part, like screw head or with all that, he did all of that, but smooth, like, you know what I mean? So that's how that went. But the hood itself, man, it's a cool place, you know, just like sometime after dark, it's just like everywhere else. It turned into the Thriller video, like Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? But, you know, you get immune to the sirens, because we still right in between everything. You in between the medical center, you in between the trade, you in 610 right there, you in between Missionary, you in between the lawn, South Lawn, so everything's right, you right here in between like all surrounding areas. And then Sunnyside is over here, and then you get to South Park, Sunnyside, Botany, you know what I mean? Dead end. But yeah, Yellowstone, Texas, where it's at. We from that place right there. And before I got there, I ain't gonna lie, I got blessed in the game, man. As soon as I got over there, they stole my bike. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned early, you know what I mean? Because
how early did you get to Yellowstone? How young are you?
My grandmama never stayed over there, so I used to visit or whatever, but I want to say somewhere like, as a child, somewhere around like elementary though, still, because I ended up going to elementary there too. I switched schools all around my whole life. I probably switched in and out of schooling institutions and everything probably about 11, 12 times, maybe 10, 11 times, whatever.
So where were you coming from before Yellowstone then?
Truthfully, I was coming way from out of pocket. I was way on, I was in A-Leaf for a minute. Then I went to like by Stella Link for a minute, that area. I was bouncing around. We was everywhere. And then I landed in the Stone, you know what I mean? As soon as I landed there, I found my way to the park, you know what I mean? Instantaneously. But yeah, I went from A-Leaf to like Stella Link area over there by the Astrodome, like right there by 610 and Stella Link, really right over there. You know what I mean? From a street right over there called Osby to a street damn near like Cosby. And that's how that happened. And it was like quick. I just went from there to there to here to there to there. So all I had to do was I just made adjustments, constantly made adjustments. You know what I mean? Just constantly made adjustments. And then, yeah, that's how that went. I went from that school to this school to another school. Then I went to private school. I went from this school to a private school to a regular school to another private school to regular school. Like, you know what I mean? Just back to back to back to back. But it was all good. It was just, you know, it's like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you said when you crossed over Pokey at Haircut Joe, was the screw tape thing already going on?
It was already what's happening.
Yeah. So I'm
really a baby.
Yeah.
Really, I'm
so
really
you know this is Big Pokey who you seeing at this barbershop.
Yeah,
you know.
I had already seen him around the neighborhood. We wasn't even at a barbershop. We really in the backyard. We in Joe's backyard. Rapping, freestyling right there, getting haircuts and everything. They really already made screw tapes. They already legendary. We already know each other really from being around the hood, but they already legends. They already big bro them. I mean, unless you don't know what's happening, but they really already what's happening, because Screw was already, all that was already really happening, and it was like a South Side or a H-Town thing, you know what I mean? So, and then from the neighborhood, you out the loop if you don't know. So we knew, you know what I mean? And they was jamming. They had already gave me shout outs and everything, because I had to freestyle with them in the backyard and everything, like all kind of cool stuff.
So you was already into the rap. That's what I was getting at. You were already into the rap thing back then.
I guess so. Like, you know, everybody was freestyling. You know, it's like you right there in the mix.
That's really some hood shit. Like,
yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody done it. You know what I mean? From here to there, everywhere. It was just like, that's really what's happening. I ain't gonna act like what nobody else or anybody else was. Everybody was doing it. I'm sure y'all was doing it in y'all section where that was at. Everybody was doing it. And then when I seen them jamming the tapes and everything, you know, I just kind of got motivated. You know what I mean? Inspired. I really was on some drawing and selling pictures and trying to be artsy and stuff like that. But I always like music though. You know what I mean? So, but the kind of music, I was more of a Michael Jackson baby at the time. Like Michael Jackson. My big sister had like some DJ Quick, and she was jamming like some all kind of stuff. She was jamming that, and I would hear that and take that or jam that. She was jamming Shark and them, and I'm swiping for tapes. You know what I mean? Then my partner and them, they big brother jamming Screw and doing Screw tapes. I'm dubbing, we dubbing, making dubs. You know what I mean? It's really happening. Yeah, it was really happening. You know what I mean?
When did the relationship with you and Pokey kind of start transforming or evolving into more than just a little homie I see when I'm at Haircut Joe, and I really start tying up and start, you know, messing around?
It's a wild question. I mean, that's a good question. Not wild, it's just kind of like, I can't really say, because it seemed like it just happened naturally, organically. It started probably from like right then. Like right then, like we already was seeing each other, because at the park, you either up there hooping, you know what I mean, or going up there, even if you ain't hooping, it's just, the park was the park. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like a lot of youth miss out on them type of vibes. You know what I mean? They miss out on the going different hoods and everything, but to answer that, it was like the park was the park. So we already was seeing each other chop, like everybody in the hood is cool with everybody. The OGs cool with the BGs, BGs cool with the kids cool with the OGs. Everybody cool with everybody except whoever ain't cool. You know what I mean? Type like, and that's really what it was. And we just was like locked in. And then I did a feature for someone. I think I was like, bro, like going to the 9th grade or somebody.
You at Yates or you?
I want to say I was like, yeah, going to Yates. I went to Yates Summer School, and then I went and did a feature for somebody on the north side. We boom, banged out, did some songs, and he heard it. And then like, around that same time, me and my homies used to go to Screw House. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because my partner, Mama, she was G, she was player. She took us, but my partner was older than me. I always hung with the older crowd anyway. You know what I mean? So whatever, old soul, whatever, just, it was just like that. And he was driving already, so we would go to Screw House too, you know what I mean? So we go patch up and buy our own tapes. If it's 3 of us or 4 of us, you know what I mean? You buy one, he buy one, I buy one. Or whoever got the most money, you buy 2. We ain't bootlegging, but we bootlegging respectfully, you know what I mean, amongst each other. And we would do that. So Screw was seeing us on the regular pretty much, you know what I mean? And he ended up hearing me on one of the tapes too, and he kind of was like, oh, nah, bro, I can't recall which one he heard first, or if he heard him like, because it happened fast. And he heard him, and he was like, oh, nah, bro, really live, you know what I mean? And we chopped it up too, because we see each other in the hood. But he wasn't even doing music yet, like outside of freestyling. We was just cool all the way the whole while. And that's how that, so it was already on. Like, it was just on, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was just on, like, it's like kind of like on some, I like to bring it back and say, like, that's why I don't really be tripping about, like, you know I see how people be tripping about trying to be somebody or something. And I feel like all the moving around I did before all of that, you know what I mean? I made a stamp everywhere I go, just having to make adjustments, but make friends and be cool in contact with people or whatnot or whatever. And then being locked in with them, you know what I mean? We went to the club. I went to the club early, so it'd be a lot of stuff I was burnt out on or people thought I was older than what I was because I was doing big boy stuff really already, you know what I mean? And it's just like some of the stuff really kind of got boring or burnt out to me. So it's another reason why I kind of played the background a lot or just be chilling because I saw so much, you know what I mean?
So really? Yeah.
Not in a bad way though. It just gave me a different insight or outlook on different things on how to move, when to move, or who genuine, who ain't genuine, what's real, what ain't real, you know what I mean? And when you kind of know that, you know what I mean, or feel that or got a sense for that, you kind of move different, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you feel different, you know what I mean? But not in a like you above nobody thing. I never really felt like that. You know what I'm saying? We all come from where we come from, and but just some people's mindset be different, you know what I mean? And I just felt different as far as like certain conversations. I ain't like low vibrational nothing. You know what I mean? So if that be the vibe, I'm off that. Like, so I just be on that when it comes to that. And, you know, I just picked up on a lot and learned a lot. But yeah, we was moving like that through the neighborhood. We really was neighborhood. They was neighborhood superstars. And I felt like I was a neighborhood up and coming star, neighborhood star myself or something. That's just how I felt in my chest. Like no matter what it was gonna be or what I was gonna do, I felt like I could do whatever in a lot of things or whatever if I just took my time with it. You know what I mean? And that's that.
Man, talk about so when Poke gets the Chevy situation going,
right.
I know he was doing, you know, his features and all that. When he got the Chevy situation, that was his situation. Do you remember when he said, all right, I got this deal, I'm finna start doing this thing?
Yeah, I was,
Because
I mean, was in school.
Because on the outside looking in, you were right there for everything.
Yeah,
you know
I'm on the back of the cover and stuff. I'm really a kid on that. Like, I'm not knowing man, bro, I'm grateful.
So
like,
when he does Hardest Pit to Litter, you what, in what, like 10th, 11th grade type
bro,
shit?
yeah, type shit. I'm teenager type vibes. I'm there. But I'm going to school. I'm back and forth. I tried so much, so I'm back and forth. They doing that. And yeah, Big E had like the Impala, they was pulling up. DEA had dropped. They was pulling up on, like it was the South Side. It's like really UGK TV, like it's really happening. You know what I mean?
The culture's being formed.
Yeah, you've seen it in real time. So I saw, like, I used to see the Botany Boys. They used to pull up on my grandmama and them street because my homie and them stayed 4 or 5 houses down. They from Cloverland, but they come over here for a while. They go to middle school over here while I'm in elementary. They telling me about slabs. And when I finally see the slabs, I'm like, oh, that's a slab? Oh, my old man got one of them. But I seen it all in real time. But when he was doing Hardest Pit, I forgot how the conversation exactly went or how it went. But he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be working with you. We gonna whatever. I was like, all right, cool. And you know what I mean? But he was busy because, you know, they legends. They back and forth. They doing screwed up click stuff. Like, I'm not really a part of all that because I'm really too young, really, truth be told.
And this
like,
is when they doing these shows. They going out and going here and going.
I went to a few. You might spot me on the one here and there where I kind of snuck and found my way or got my way or went with my homie that was older than me that was driving. Like, we in the mix. You know what I mean? Like, even when we was at the Capitol, bro, like, I'm young. Like, the Capitol was really happening. You know what I mean? We was just finding our way. And I tell my people, whatever at the time, yeah, we're gonna go do such and such. Man, bro, we going to the Capitol, bro.
But like, you at Yates, or people at Yates recognizing you as somebody who in the mix for real, for real?
Yeah, they was. And then I'm cool with people at the schoolhouse, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I played ball.
So you was hooping?
Nah, I played
football.
Yeah,
No shit.
I went out for quarterback. I'm trying to play quarterback. I was trying to be great. You know what I mean?
So you was on the athletic track for real?
Yeah, I was trying to play quarterback. I just was little. You know what I mean? And they had some dope quarterbacks, like they, you know what I mean, that came from middle school, but I came from private school. But they saw that I was pretty dope, you know what I mean? Because I could kind of understand the game. I understood it quick, but I'm the way I'm playing, and you know what I mean? But I had to do an extra. I'm so small, I got to do an extra step drop back. I got to do all this, but I'm even-handed with the throwing a little bit. So they utilized me as much as we played. I did good. And then the following year, my people, that's another story, but my people, my T, Jones ain't want to do the paperwork. She stalling me out, coach begging for me to come back, you know what I mean? And while I'm doing all that, I'm doing all of that. You know what I mean? And 2, I wanted some nice things, you know what I mean, everybody, because we stay in a nice neighborhood, but bro, we deep in the crib. Like, the house nice, it's good, but bro, we deep. Like, it's me, my big sister, my little sister, my grandmother, her
Y'all still on the
husband.
Stone, or where y'all live?
We on the Stone, so we deep in this one house. My uncle there, his girl, like we deep, bro. We self-made deep in a 4-bedroom, like for real. So as I got older, you know what I'm saying? As you get older, you really dealing with all these multiple personalities. You know what I mean?
One's own space.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time outside of the outside. Like, you know what I mean? I would be gone because of that or whatever. But it's love, like, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? My father, he on the other side of town, type vibes. Him and my T, they got their thing. They ain't really cool. I ain't got no number on nobody. So I'm outside, you know what I mean? And then as time progressed, you know what I mean? I'm doing this, that, and the third, you know? And that's how that really, all that was really happening. But people was knowing me at the schoolhouse because I'm playing ball and I'm cool with people. Some people, you know, haters gonna be haters. You know, I'm getting hated on because who is this? Who is he? You know what I'm saying? Playing ball, because I didn't play quarterback nowhere else. You know what I mean? They didn't even have football where I came from, but I was on that. I was adamant about trying to do that. And I was doing well at it until the following year. And my people stalled me out on the paperwork and I couldn't get my old man. I couldn't get him on the phone because I had to call him at his J. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get somebody to sign the waiver. The coach asking me every day. My T, she working.
What was the issue with signing the waiver?
My Jones. I'm little, you know what I'm saying? She don't really want me. Did she know the coach?
She want to protect you and all that.
I don't know. She was hating. You know what I mean? I'm going to school. Like her thing is every time I'm outside doing something else. That's why I went to summer school the whole time. Like every time, I'm passing. Like I'm doing great. I'm grades, whatever. I'm just going to summer school. So I'm going to school, summer school, all this. Like started school early, got skipped up, I got held back, got skipped back up. You know what I mean? I just wanted to play ball though. Like I really did. Because the last school I came from had a basketball team. I didn't get to play with them. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really that gifted yet in basketball. I was mediocre joker. And then when I went to the yard, you know, they hooping for real. You know what I mean? So I could point guard we could hoop in the gym, but shot was not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to play football more so, you know what I mean? But people was knowing me and I built relationships. I'm cool with all the seniors. All the seniors was my clique. You know what I mean? I'm cool with them. Then partner Rue went there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He was cool. I went to school with him. They cool. They was out.
Wait, Rue was still in school when you was in school?
Yeah, it was his last, I can't think, Rue might not have been there, because let me put this in perspective. Rue one of them people that just come back to the schoolhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, he a legend, so he would just be there in the hall.
His way, yeah.
Yeah, he run the thing, you know what I'm saying? But I went to summer school before I even started high school. So I seen all of them, you know what I mean? I seen Kiki at Yates before, bro. He used to be roaming the halls.
No shit.
Like, yeah, Poke used to come up there, roam the halls, and I leave with him. Yeah, Poke come up there, like, cause they legend. So Poke would come up there, legend. I see him in the hall. He wouldn't really want to let me leave with him, but you know, if it's the last part of the day or whatever, I left with him a couple times, you know what I mean, and whatnot. But yeah, it was really happening. But he was back and forth to school by then, you know what I mean, and doing his thing. But yeah, it was really happening. Not people really seeing us doing that, because that's just was happening on the cool. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna act like the halls was just filled people in class, people at school and stuff. You know what I mean? But we'll see each other somehow, some way. I'll probably be in the hall. I don't know how, but I'll be running, just doing my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, talk about does anything stand out from the Hardest Pit and the Little sessions to
you? What you mean?
Just anything. Like, man, I'll never forget when we was making this album, this happened. Whether it's some studio shit, being on the road, just anything within that time free.
I really wasn't going on the road doing all that yet, because I'm really still in school. So that's a lot I kind of missed out on. But I'm a part of the process. Like, I'm a part of, like, we wrote YSP together. Like, we wrote, I thugged my way on Shady Game. We did, what other song? Oh, Hands Up. I wrote Hands Up. I just had the beat.
That's such a classic, bro.
Yeah, Oh, Hands Up.
Was y'all all in there together when y'all did Hands Up?
When we laid it, yeah. But I wrote my verse first. He was working on other songs, and I had that beat. And you know, I'm just outside. I'm trying to squeeze the culture all in one verse. It wasn't even a hook. Like, I wrote the verse and I rapped it to him. And he called Hawk. He made Hawk come listen to me. You know what I'm saying? They pull up at my people's house. Man, he rapped that other verse you did for Hawk, you know what I'm saying? I rap it for Hawk, and I was like, oh yeah, we gotta go do that. I'm getting on that. That's how it turned into that, and they made the hook, and we We laid the song on the spot, and it turned out we actually recorded that song in a storage unit, in a like public storage. That stands out. We recorded that song in a public storage unit. You know what I'm saying? A dude named Crank that made the beat had like a storage, like a storage unit, public storage. I don't know, you know what I mean? And we recorded, and the secret to that is, bro, I didn't even know how to write a 16 or nothing. Like, I think it's 18 bars on that song. I didn't find out till later. I was like, oh shit. Cause I'd be rapping it and something would always sound off, but the beat was just a loop. Yeah, so yeah, that song there is like, man, that song there is like, I ain't gonna lie, that song really like, that is a classic song, you know what I mean? But I was writing like, at that time, I was trying to rap like me, but I'm really trying to rap like everybody in the clique. So I'm really just got, my flow is they flow. It's just my version of it, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Yeah, I just put my spin on it, and Southside and shocking, bouncing and body rocking, all that. You know what I'm saying? Dank Dot and Drank Dot is popped up and smoked up. It's like a screw tape. It's like a mixture of screw tapes in one verse. You know what I mean? To me, you know what I mean? And that's how that. And then I wanted to be a part of Heavyweight so bad. I just wanted to see them. That song is like my favorite song of all time. Like duo songs, and I like Jada Styles. I like the Clips. I like all these duos. But I feel like the song Heavyweighters is a record that could compete with them. It could compete with Biggie and Jay. You know what I mean? On I Love the Dough or Brooklyn's Finest. Like, if you ever just go back and listen to Heavyweighters and just listen to it, anybody, you gonna say, oh, I see what's going on. You know what I mean? But when I heard they done it, I was like, they did what? Because I usually be around some kind of way. They sat right in front of Po House and wrote it. I was like, yeah, we wrote it in front of, I was like, man, I just wanted to be in the midst of it. But I was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that mode.
Yeah. Talk about Hawk, because it was like, at the same time Pokey was pulling for you, Hawk was pulling for you as well. Like, at the same time, all these things was just working for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hawk and them just really like, so like, they was just OG legends. They met me through Dina. Hawk and them did, the DEA met me through him. And then they would just pull up on me, like in my hood. I don't remember how they would get in touch with me. I can't recall how it was going on, but they would pull up on me and just, you know what I mean? At the time, I was calling myself hustling, because like I said, I wanted some nice things, you know what I mean? We deep in this crib, you know what I mean? I come off a private school run. You know, private school, you just got 2 pair of shorts, 2 pair of pants, 2 white shirts, 2 yellow shirts, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big difference to getting in the transition of a schoolhouse where everybody got J's on all the time, and, you know, Penny Hardaways and foams and all this, bro. I had Air Forces when they wasn't cool type, you know what I'm saying? Like, real mid-top, high-top Air Forces, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, nah, this ain't it. You know what I mean? I'm trading clothes with my homeboy from around the corner and stuff, so they end up pulling up on me.
So that's what led you down the hustling road to say, man?
Yeah, pretty much, you know what I mean? Then I ended up getting a job too, because I ain't really was just trying to be like, I'm a hustler, like, you know what I mean? I just wanted some paper, you know what I mean? And I tried working and stuff too. And yeah, so all while I was like in school, like I'm trying to do, because I'm not playing ball now, like, bro, I'm gonna get some money. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, bet, I get a job and catch the, whatever, right? But they would pull up on me, whatever, spend time with me, mess with me, shop with me, boom. And then I look back at it when I got a little older, I was like, oh, I see what they was doing. They'll just buy me out so I wouldn't be hustling. You see what I'm saying? Yo, what you got? Oh, for real? Let me see it. Okay, give me that. All right, what else you got? All right, that's it. All right, bet, come with us. And then I'm with them. You know what I mean? And sometimes, and Poke at school, so he back and forth in and out of town. See what I'm saying? Because he in college or whatever. So that's how, like, but when he not in college, he with them and we all together. And during that time, I met Al, met Ron, you know what I mean? And then guys from Dead End. And then
wait, Poke was still in college when he was doing Hard to Spend a Little or not?
I was coming off of that, but this is in the time with me meeting Hawk. You see what I'm saying? And
so it's like DEA time, really, like.
Yeah, it's probably the end of DEA time, you know what I mean? And DEA already out, Southside Players already out. I got them, I got posters, they signed my posters, everything. I'm in school, you know what I mean? I got posters signed and everything, like for real, you know what I mean? And they just took to me like a little brother, like, you know what I mean? Like a little lost child or something, you know what I mean? And just kept me with them. And when I wasn't with them, I'm with my partner and them or running around through the hood, and it was just all love, bro. But I learned so much so fast from being around them. They ain't really showed me no fraud or no bunch of like, you know, just weird nothing, you know what I mean? Like they just, and then you would see like the genuineness of things that they would do. Like if one of them go shopping or who, you don't know who got the money. You know what I mean? Like you don't even know. Like if we go to the mall, everybody gets something, but you don't know. You might pay today, this person might pay next week. You know what I mean? My people was kind of tripping. They like, where you get all this? What you getting? Who are them guys? Like what they do? Like you don't need to be with them, you know what I mean? And I was like, nah, they screwed up clicking. I mean, they screw what? You know, what that sound like to a parent, screw house. That shit don't sound right at all. Like screw house. When you think about it, you know what I mean? Like you like, oh, wait, what? Man, nah, you know what I mean? And then against all of that, I was still like going and coming and going, you know what I mean? And finding my way, you know what I mean? To be, cause, you know what I mean? It was like therapy in a way, bro. Like I get to hang with the big dogs, the OGs, you know what I mean? All my partners hustling, I'm hustling a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? And then, you know, it's just cool. You know, I don't got no really like my T-Jones at work all the time. Grandma at work all the time. My old man on the other side of town, I don't really got nobody to really be with. So at the same time, I'm probably reaching for love, you know what I mean? But they giving it to me at the same time on the protection barrier side. Like, I'm really like the little brother, you know what I mean? So, and I don't ask for nothing, you know what I mean? You don't ask for nothing, everybody eating, you know what I mean? They put money in my pocket, whatever, you know what I mean? It was just real. So I know what real look like, and I know what genuineness look like, and I know what kindness look like, and I know what solid look like. Check each other, they joke, rank, play, chop it up. Yeah, the whole time that's what's happening. You joking, ranking, chopping. Don't laugh too loud, cause you next. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just always, it was really happening. You know what I mean? It was like really like, when I used to hear old people say the golden era, I didn't know what they was talking about. Until I had got to a point and looked back on it, like, oh, I get it.
You was a part of a golden era. Yeah.
Right, and I was like, oh, that's what them old people used to be talking about when they was in their golden era or whatever. But yeah, it was really solid, bro. Like solid.
Talk about making Dope Game 2000, because it was like a switch of like you say, you did a few records on Hardest Pit the Litter, but when Dope Game 2000 came, it was like, it's Pokey album, but it's about Chris for the future. Same way how they was saying like.
Think so?
I felt like the same way Cash Money was saying it's finna be all about Wayne. I felt like that's how Pokey and Hawk talked about Chris Ward.
Right on. Yeah, right on. That's
you know what I'm saying? And it was happening all at the same time.
Yeah,
you know
that's what's happening here. And I was cool with the Dead End BG. Shout out to them. They dope, by the way. Trap and bro, they was cool. And yeah, that really happened. Like Hawk put me on this album. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, you just had to, I don't lie, like I ain't gonna lie, I'm grateful, like I'm blessed, like, cause.
A little old, I mean, the throat, I mean, all these things happening, all that.
Yeah, right. So we ended up staying like, all right, so now I get out of school a little while, so I go to, well now, you know what, I'm staying at OG Mr. Sweet's house a little bit, Lil Pop, you know what I'm saying, he poke OG, but he come OG from the hood, he a legend. He on Screw Tapes too. He cool with Screw. He's really technically on the cool Screwed Up clique. He put us up on game, put me up on game. They had they tapes, you know, Pop Trunk, one of them, you know what I mean? They was jamming. And
watch a nigga flip, watch a nigga come.
Yeah, he was live with that. Yeah, he was like, he was live with that, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's that watch me flow.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, and I think that's probably what made me want to rap. Like hearing them do that, you know what I mean? That probably made me, and I already felt like I was poetic and into writing and stuff like that. Even during school, I was like on my journalism, you know what I mean? That was something I could do, was like be with art, because I got bored quick, because I learned so much and was doing so much. That's probably why I went to so much school, right? But yeah, so all that was happening, me and Poke was doing that. We stayed so before Hardest Pit, we did end up staying together. We stayed like in a hotel for some months. And then we ended up getting a spot. Hawk stayed with us. We stayed together, really, I put it like that. And they was doing shows. I'm back and forth to school. I'm trying to work, boom. They just wanted me to stay out of trouble. So yeah, they kind of kept me in pocket. And then Hawk was working on his stuff. I'm not knowing I'm gonna be on all this, you know what I mean? I'm just vibing with them. Like we vibing, chopping games, swapping bars, whatever, you know, just legend stuff that they was doing. I'm just involved. Like, I'm really like a fly on the wall, but not really a fly on the wall. They got me really included. And then as they start doing songs, like, all right, yeah, you put something for this. That's how That's Me happened. That's how all of that, you know what I mean? That's how we did, that's how That's Me happened. Before My World Ends happened, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna throw you rollies. I set the tone on there. They started me off on there. I just be like vibing with them. They be like, yeah, do that. That's like, go do that. Well, on there, do rap on there? Yeah, do that. And then that's how we would be doing. And then when he was doing Dope Game 2000, we had went from one spot where we had the high rise, fly rise, and then we ended up.
What was this spot there with the high rise?
On the west by Cornbread.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like on the other side of the freeway by Cornbread. I used to just walk.
This wasn't the atrium spot where everybody was.
Yeah,
Was that the atrium?
Yeah, I got it coded as the fly rise, high rise. Yeah, we over there. The atrium was really jumping. It was really nice. Like, it was really dope in that time. Like, it's like this was like moving on up. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was live back then. It looked crazy now, but back then, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get in, then you gotta tuck that code, that call upstairs, then you gotta let you in again. Then you gotta catch the elevator, but the elevator glass see-through.
They got a little pond.
Yeah, it was really happening.
It looked like you walking into some shit.
Man, this UGK TV is really happening. And that's when we actually got evicted out of there.
No shit.
Yeah, we got evicted. You know what I'm saying? We had to move in like 48 hours.
Y'all was keeping up too much shit over there, whatever.
Man, but now they wasn't really tripping with us. We was locked in. You know what I mean? We went on a drought. You know what I mean? And keeping up too much shit and had to go. We had the money. We would just be out of town and doing stuff, and we paid late like 2 times too many. You know what I mean? And we was like, nah, we got the bread. Like, and I got the bread because I'm the one stashing all the money. You know what I mean? So, because, you know, people was coming and going. So bro had me like hiding the money type vibes or whatever, right? And bro, we had to get out in like 48 hours, bro. I think we had 48 hours, maybe 72. But man, we had to get out of there, bro. So we left. That we ended up staying in a hotel, bro. We stayed in extended stay for like 6 months. So majority of Dope Game 2000 come out of the extended stay over on 59. We stayed in the Crown. It used to be the Crown right there on 59 by Taco Cabana or whatever, right there by Joel Osteen them now, the Summit, whatever. We stayed in the Crown for probably like a month and a half, and then we stayed in like the extended stay. But the extended stay was live because what you paying for and what you getting the highs. You getting a baby apartment. So we stayed there for like 6 months. And we did like Mind and Muscle there. Like me and him, we did Mind and Muscle. Southside, we rolled on H-Town, on Choppers. All of those records was being done there. I think Dope Game 2000 was done at the Atrium. We just wasn't working. You see what I'm saying? We done that at the Atrium because I remember they kept calling me or whatever. Like, so B-Bob, I don't know if y'all know B-Bob.
Brady Bob, my boy. Yeah,
okay, so B-Bob was
Brady Bob told me he wrote Keep a Name Out Your Mouth.
He gave him an idea. He came up with the Keep My Name Out. That was his vibe. I wasn't there with him. They was at this dude Big E house or whatever, which was around the corner from my auntie and them house. That's how my auntie and them kind of and my family got. They actually met them and met Chevis and them on some time like that. And that's how they knew. Cause they ain't know what I was on or whatever, and they kind of told them about me, like, nah, great young man, young kid, whatever. And they got to meet them and meet some upstanding characters, you know what I mean? And met Hog and them, and they was like, oh, okay. Cause other than that, they don't know what's going on. They was like, okay, bro, really, he ain't tripping, he in good hands. Now they catching on, but still don't know what's going on, cause it's happening in real time. You don't really know.
And these songs ain't coming on the radio. It's like it's still very much. You either into the music or you know what's going on.
Well, Pokemon was on the radio though.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying a lot of the records that you would be on, they weren't.
Yeah, I'm not on the radio at all. You know what I mean? I'm not on the radio at all. I'm not on the radio at all. But I'll poke on the radio, and I'm not promoting or nothing. I'm just in the mix, or you know what I mean? And we did Keep My Name Out Your Mouth over there. They called me or whatever. Poke, Mafia, and they was all together or whatever, and they just kept calling. I wasn't answering the phone. I ain't hear the phone ringing because I was at the spot. And this before we got put out with our shenanigans or whatever, right? But I couldn't really recall, but I remember them asking me that I like to, like, stay there, stay right there, don't go nowhere, you know what I'm saying, stay at the, and they came and they brought the song to me, and they was like, man, you like it? And you know what I mean? Because they was just running the records by me, pretty much. Like, that's what Dub K would do too. Like, they'll let me hear everything. I put my ears on everything, you know what I mean? I guess at the time, my young ear, or whatever my ear was for the music, they trusted it. And I was like, yeah, that's dope. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's a song. Like, do it. And then that's how that song came about. Like, I didn't even know I was supposed to be on Keep My Name Out Your Mouth. I didn't know how it was going or nothing. I just ended up being at the studio, and they were like, yo, it's your turn.
So everybody was in there when y'all did that record. Yeah. What do you remember most about that session?
Man, everybody was in and out the booth like they was rapping like they was at Screw House. You know what I mean? And Poke was just going off. Like, he had set the tone on there, and he had laid that hook to do E-Man. You know what I mean? It was like really like, bro, it was legendary. Like, when you look, like, it should have been filmed, honestly. You know what I mean? And then I forgot till Miggity brought it up to me that I helped him with his verse. He was like, yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? I be telling people. I was like, yeah, don't tell them. He said it on camera one time, like, don't tell. I was like, don't tell nobody. He was like, nah, I'm gonna tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that. And I just remember them telling me to go, and I'm like, what you mean? So if you actually listen to my part of Keep My Name Out Your Mouth, it's really a sibling verse. Like, you know what I'm saying? I break your jaw 3 or 4 places. That's from That's Me.
Yeah.
That's really from That's Me. And then raise my gun at you, blaze more than one at you. That's from City to City, State to State. That's from Shawnee Pooh Project. So I freestyle bars from different verses I had, except the NyQuil part and the other part after that, you know, and before that or whatever. Oh, in the beginning, yeah, it's not, yeah, don't get wet, don't get soft, it don't get mushy. I just felt like that. Everybody would always be hating and talking down on whoever, however. I just felt like that, you know what I mean? So that was a record that was really dope that we did that I really like a lot. That's like probably my favorite record on there. And then we did Who That Talking Down. I'm on remixes, like they would throw me on remixes. Who That Talking Down, I'm on the remix. I'm on the part 2s to a lot of songs.
Want to take mine, we'll pick it up and then line.
Talking about Guess Jeans and Lugs on. Man, I ain't wore a pair of Lugs ever. I kind of
I consider the drugs on. Yeah.
And then I just was trying to really learn how to really rap and use like syllables or whatever. I probably wrote that verse 2-3 times or whatever. I was just bored at the spot writing it over and over because the beat was so crazy I couldn't figure out how to do it. Then Mafia came up with the hook. I think my verse was already done to that. And then Poke and we vibed on it and it came up with that. But that ended up being like a legendary record too. I didn't expect it to or whatever, but it just happened. And it was dope, yeah. It was Chris Ward from Off the Stone Boulevard.
Stay drank that for the noise.
And I said that on the screw tape.
They pull like
yeah, I used that from the screw tape. I was like, man, I'm gonna use my screw, one of my screws. Mm-hmm. And that's how that happened.
When y'all were moving with Chevis and all that, like, did you feel like you want to label, like, were y'all doing like split sheets and publishing and all this type of?
No, we didn't. They ain't do none of that really. When I was so young, I ain't really know. You know what I mean? They ain't
to even ask for it. Yeah,
they didn't do that, and but they tried to do good business. They ain't really know what they was doing in a way. You know what I mean?
And that's my position on a lot of that era of Houston rappers. Like, you had guys that might have had some money and want to do something different, and knew some guys with some talent and wanted to probably change their life, but not really having the full knowledge.
Yeah, they just knew Pope was a beast and they wanted to do something with him, and he was with DEA, and they wanted to put some music together with him, and they had the paper, and they done that, you know what I mean? But we ain't do none of that, like, and then the legends would swap work with each other. That's how they would do at the time, swap work, and then everybody will swap money. You know what I mean? Everybody will break bread with everybody, though. The money getting broke. You know what I mean? They still breaking bread amongst each other or whatever, whatnot.
But the business ain't necessarily being done.
Right. Because it's just, you know what I'm saying? I got 300,000, you know what I mean? We just working, we buying the beats, we doing that. And I think they did business or paperwork on the tracks, like on the beats like that. They was doing business on that. So they was trying, they was doing some good stuff, you know what I mean? Then when they got the deal, they backdoored and did paperwork or whatever and was getting to it like that. And that's how that was going. And Dope Game 2000 was happening, but at the same time, it was like they made some money and then got a deal and got some money. Bro was getting money, show money out the world. Like, he was getting a bunch of show money. That's why I hid all the money. He was getting so much show money. Hog doing shows, Poke doing shows. We going with Hog. We going with Poke, then Mo turned up, then we going with Mo going with them, 3-2 going, you know what I mean? So I'm in a lot of pictures and a lot of stuff. I try to be in the cut, but they like, nah, we right here, I'm at the classic. But I'm everywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Picture, you
like,
and Key with the shirts and like with, you know what I'm saying, with the rayon shirts or whatever that was.
Yeah, Key was already litty.
Yeah.
Like he was having his way. Like that was one of my first time I had seen Key or whatever. And I was like, I like Key. Like, you know what I mean? I like the OGs and you know what I mean? They was killing it. You know what I mean? But he was basically a young OG to some of the OGs. So he wasn't really technically, you know what I mean? But they was killing it and we seen each other. Cause I think that's my camera. Me and Hawk would buy them little snap cameras. And somehow, I don't know how we ended up taking the pic or whatever. I don't know who told us to take it but it ended up being like on my camera, me or Hawk camera. Cause I got a whole lot of other pictures, like random pictures, you know what I mean? And we was down there and I just so happened went with them that year, you know what I mean? Cause me and my partner and them would go and my partner and them came, but they kidnapped me and I went and I don't think my partner, either they went that year or didn't come or they ended up being with us. You know what I mean? And yeah, I had we rayon shirts. It was really happening. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, like I look back, I'm like, man, boys, my people now, they ain't even know I'm at the Kappa. They ain't find out till way, way, way later when the picture emerged, you know what I'm saying, from greatness. And cause had I asked them or told them, bro,
the answer was no.
Yeah, what? Nah, you know what I'm saying? Kappa was grown people. That was grown people event. That's like probably our version of, even though it was like after the Freaknik times, that was probably our version of that type vibes, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was really happening. And once again, I'm with the bros, you know what I mean? Mo, Poke, Hawk, DEA, you know what I'm saying? I'm in the mix. I'm just having fun. Like I'm just enjoying myself really. I ain't really tripping about nothing. Like life was good, really, you know what I mean? Like really life was good.
That's what I'm saying. At that time, you got the stuff going on with Chevy, you got the stuff going on with Hawk. You on O's album, like these are some of the best albums that's coming out the city when you talk about like
Facts.
That 99, 2000, 2001
O was a legend. I met O through them, I forgot. But O, like they was like end up being fans of me and I'm fans of them and that's how we was meeting. But they all partners really. And O will start putting up on me and putting my ears, you know, he had already took flight with Destiny Child. So he already, even though nobody knew, cause he a talent seeker, you know what I'm saying? So he's seeking out talent as well. And I like when he did his album, like we together most of the time he was doing his album. Like, you know what I mean? Fat Rat with the Cheese. Like I'm with him like the whole steps of the way. I know who gonna go on what. We talking about who gonna go on what. You know what I mean? He asking my opinion. We trading. You know what I mean? O was really what's happening. You know what I'm saying? O was live. He Southwest baby. He was on Screw Highs. Like everybody know O was messing with O. You know what I'm saying? He riding Benzitos. You know what I mean? Like he's driving for real. And he just used to pull up at the high rise, fly rise, and you know what I'm saying? Where you at, young walk? Man, come downstairs real quick. You know what I'm saying? I run down there, we listen to about 4 or 5 songs or 2, 3 songs, like every other day. And then that's how that was happening. Then C-No and them, I got so much love for Botany. I met C-No. It was just so funny, you know what I mean? But I met C-No and Pope was like, yeah, C-No want to meet you. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? So
C-No another one who good for iron talent and seeing.
Yeah, I C-No was dope to me.
And shit, yeah.
They was just so loud to me because I'm in school and they some of the first ones got albums out. You know what I mean? So the streets jamming this. And I just remember we went downstairs and Pope was like, yeah, this him right here. He was like, nah. He was like, nah, this him right here. He was like, nah, that ain't him. He was like, bro, I'm looking to see somebody else your size. Like
he thinking you a bigger guy.
Yeah, he was like, the way bro talk, the way he be talking, and how he be feeling, and he was like, there's no way. I'm like, nah, this is me. You know what I'm saying? And we laughed, we chopped it up, and it was just love. We liked it. He was like, man, I want to do something with you. I want to work with you. I'm like, well, it's whatever. And then he started messing with me, you know what I mean? And it was just G, you know what I mean? He pulled up, it was like him, Will Lean, And then I already knew his brother though. Like me and Duke was cool. That was so crazy. Duke wasn't even there, but that was my partner already from school. Cause like I said, my partner and them stayed on the street that was from Botany. So Botany hadn't already pulled up on my street when I was young. I already got a relationship with the homies. I used to catch the bus to go to Botany to go holler at my partner and them when they moved back to Botany. You see what I'm saying? So it's because it's one bus. You just catch the bus straight up Scott. You know what I'm saying? You shoot straight up Scott Block and get off and walk like 6-7 minutes, and you see what I'm saying? And you walk to Botany. So, but I wasn't cool. They was gone. They doing their thing. You know what I mean? And when I look back at it, they was so dope because they really had a helicopter in the video.
That's crazy. I be saying that.
Like when I look, I was like,
y'all bought a helicopter to Cloverland, bro.
You feel me? Wait till I hit my move. You gonna see me. Bro. I'm coming back. You know what I mean? I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, they really did that.
But yeah, they all just simultaneously, you know what I'm saying? It's a good Lord, good energy, you know what I mean? And it just all was happening. And through all of that, I was just so grateful for it all. It just was really happening in real time. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? And Willie them used to pull up on me once, and they used him, T-Bone, they kidnapped me, we go do moves. They was doing the same thing. That's how I knew it was G. They was doing the same thing DEA used to do. But they used to be, they like cousins. Because the neighborhoods is right here. There. So they do the same thing. So they kidnap me, get whatever, what you got? Whatever, we go, they'll drink with me, whatever, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, you drinking, you having a blast, you know what I mean? So go eat good, whatever, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the time you just flipping through the city. So the city I learned the city from riding shotgun in back seat, you know what I mean? I'm like, I bet. So I learned my routes around the whole town. You know what I mean? Just being in the car with them because they just flipping through the city, jamming music, jamming screw tapes, you know what I'm saying? Sipping, picking up paper, getting paper, doing whatever, stopping by their family house, checking on their mama, you know what I'm saying? Checking on their girls, whatever, dropping money out to their family, they baby mamas, their girlfriend, wife, whatever, however, right? You know what I mean? And it'd be like, you know, stuff like that till the day was over. So it was all love, really. And it all happened at that time. And then we was, like I said, at that, after the high rise, fly rise, because all that happened then, and then Dope Gang 2000 happened after that when we was started there and then ended up when we was at Extended Stay. And then bro created some heats over. They did Untamed Gorilla at the Extended Stay, Mind and Muscle at the Extended Stay. He did all of that, you know what I mean? On Choppers at the Extended Stay, Lil Mamas at the Extended Stay. Like half the album was done, you know what I mean, while we on the go, but they doing shows. So even though he at the Extended Stay.
It's getting late and time is winding down.
Man, oh yeah, you know I didn't even really like that song.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bro.
Man, that's me and my people.
For real, I'm gonna jam it. I felt like I wasn't really cooking on there. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, I felt like I wasn't cooking on there.
It's getting late.
That's why I never use it on the mixtape or nothing.
Man,
I hear that verse. Like I hear that song. Yeah. Time is winding down. Yeah.
Come on, man. We not finna do that.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't really cooking, you know what I mean? But later on, I was like, it's not bad at all. You know what I mean?
That shit was going. Yeah. Bro, talk about, because I mean, you around all the screw shit. When did you know that you were officially SUC in the clique? You know what I mean? You knew it was official as far as you not just being a guy around, you actually in.
I don't know. I never really, like, even Screw messed with me, like, you know what I mean? Because I went back to his house a couple times. I used to go to the house on Reveille when they talk about all the slabs. Yeah. That's where we used to go and get our taste and stuff. And then when he moved to Mo City, I went over there a couple times. And that house was live too, but there's no furniture. No, there's live house. Just imagine a live house, like, you know what I'm saying?
There's a bunch of niggas in there, though.
Dope house, crates, records everywhere, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying, money everywhere, drinks everywhere, it's really happening or whatever, but he just would always tell me, he really liked my style, and he was putting me on some more records and putting me on more tapes, and I went over there with Hawk a couple times, and I still, like, even though I was just never claiming the clique, you know what I mean, until the clique actually claimed me, and out of respect, because I just felt like so many people wanted to be Screwed Up Clique. And then there was so many people that was Screwed Up Clique that didn't do music.
That's a fine, sensitive line you walk when you start talking about who in Screwed Up Clique, who ain't. Like, it's a very...
And people take it, it's some people that, you know what I mean? Because some people feel like they not clique according to this person or that person, but I know I'm clicked by Robert Earl. And by, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm affiliated with everybody, but I know my clique came from him, and then me being with Dub K and Poke, of course, you know what I mean? But I'm really mob style with Poke. So I'm not even tripping on the clique. I'm just happy to be involved, you know what I mean? And be a part of greatness, to be honest, man, if I had to say it like that, because they really live for real. Like, they the future is how I was seeing it when it was happening. I don't know if people could see it like that. You know, sometimes when you see something, it's like I'll bring it to, and maybe this will make something. It's like when I saw the Celtics, because I was young, but when I saw them put together Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kate, when I saw it happen, I was like, oh yeah, they finna win the championship. You know what I mean? I know it's some dope teams. I know Kobe and them live. I know Spurs live.
But they got
and I wasn't even watching basketball like that. And I had debates with a couple guys back. I'm like, oh, let's bet. This is a solid bet. You know, I ain't got to bet no money. Let's bet push-ups or whatever y'all want to bet. They going, and they went. But that's how I feel like when I saw the click and heard the music and saw where it was going and what was happening. Like, oh, this the future. This is going to be the world. Like, this is going to somehow, some way be the take over everything. I don't care what you say, how you say it. This is what my intuition is. This is what I know is going to happen. And it started happening, and it happened. Then Wanna Be a Baller comes out. You got Hog, you got Fat Pat on Wanna Be a Baller. You know, Kiki cooking on 3 a.m. You got that. Like, everybody really cooking. You know what I mean? Okay, they don't know about it in Atlanta yet. They don't know about this. Bro.
But it's happening here, though.
They got diamonds in their mouth, bro. Who got this? These boys got diamonds on their teeth. You see what I'm saying? I don't care what you're talking about. That's furniture in their mouth. So it's like, bro, King, that's how they made the jewelers popular, everything. I'm like, bro, think about it. You see what I'm saying? So in my mind, thinking about it, I'm like, oh yes, yeah. And so as it all started happening, I'm just a part of it while it's happening, and I'm realizing, but not realizing. So I'm enjoying it, trying to, but it's a lot of times I didn't enjoy it because it was happening so fast, and I didn't really never sit and soak in the moments. You know what I mean? And then
you don't know its history when it's being made.
I kind of felt like I knew it was. I just enjoyed my time being with the bros and them because it was family time. You know what I mean? And being that I moved around so much young, you know what I'm saying? Finally being a part of family time on some family. So I get it when people try to form groups and people try to put together these things, they try to be family. I get it. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? That's the only reason. That's like, I get it for real.
Yeah. Man, so we talking about, you know, the Dope Game run. I mean, the hardest people run Dope Game, the whole Chevis run.
Right.
It was only 2 albums. Why was it only 2 albums on Chevis?
So, yeah, I don't be hiding the truth, and I don't be trying to. So really, man, it was just kind of like the money was messed up, and they wasn't doing. And I don't know if it was done intentional, but Chevis was busy. You know what I mean? So he didn't get a chance to be tapped in, locked in like that. Some shows slowed up in between one of the times or two, and when that happened, you know, you just catch on to where the rest of the paper at. You see what I'm saying? And they had got the money from the deal, bread got broke or whatever, and it was just everything wasn't going right. You know what I mean? I just hit a spot where it wasn't right. And we was gonna go do something with Robert Gillamy or whatever. We was gonna go do some wrestling.
Southwest Wholesale, right?
Yeah,
Robert Gillamy.
Good people, you know what I mean? And they was he was gonna give, basically the contract was void. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, bro, asked to see the contract. I can't remember who or how it happened.
Hope asked to see the Chevis contract.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And somebody ended up bringing the contract, and it wasn't really right. It was basically like, it wasn't the contract he signed. You know what I mean? They brought a different piece of paper. You know what I mean? And he took that real, like, personal. You know what
So
I mean?
they tried to tell him basically the contract that you signed, it was a different document than the one that he actually signed.
I'm just saying right now, you know what I mean? I double back and I say, hey, bro, let me see that contract for that interview that we signed up or whatever, whatever. And you bring it to me.
And you look at the
and
terms.
this ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't what I signed. You know what I'm saying? But to double check and make sure he gave it. And then when it got looked at, it wasn't it. You know what I mean? And I didn't know too much about it. I was just right there. You know what I'm saying? He ain't really, we talked about it, you know what I mean? But we ain't elaborate too much on it or whatever. And then we went and they was finna do a deal. Good Lord is just so good, but they was finna do a deal at Robert Gillamy at Southwest Wholesale. And they was just gonna give him the bread, the spot to do whatever, do his own project, but Poke not really good at doing his own project, you know what I mean? And I felt like we could do it. I'm like, bro, I know what to do. I get it, I'm the little bro or whatever, but I've seen everybody do everything. Get the bread, let's pay for the studio time or really build our own studio. You get what I mean? Get an engineer, let's go to work, whatever, right? And in the midst of that, some kind of way, I don't recall exactly, it would probably hit me at any time in my database. It's floating around somewhere, and Wreckshop wanted to work with him.
Because that was a big thing at the time. I remember because Mo had his run coming, so it was like Wreckshop in Houston. That was the place to be for us on the independent level.
So Mo run was happening and Poke and Mo like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So by law, all other times is me, Poke, Mo, Hawk. You see what I'm saying? We together. The only times we ain't really with Mo like talking about is when he with Wreckshop. And then Poke already going over there because he messed with Mo. That's his family. So he doing music with them. So his Mo little brother, K-Love them over there. So I'm over there every now and then, but not as much. I'm not really involved. I'm at the spot. I be chilling for real. You know what I mean? But I went a couple times. That's how they came up. That's how we got. How we get Two Ways record is because Mo was like, bro, you ain't on my album. You ain't get on my album. And I'm like, bro, you be singing, you be jamming. Like, y'all was done before I even knew it. Like, but Mo was so, to me, Mo, like, I'm not to get off topic, Mo like the dopest. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That was my,
that's like my
Kiki
favorite.
was my first favorite out the Screwed Up Clique, and Mo was right after that.
Yeah.
And that really come from the 3 in the morning because Key had
and then Mo
Pimpin'
had
Pins and Mo had
Sippin'
Sippin' Codeine.
Yeah,
them two became my favorite first two out of the clique, like off top.
Yeah, them was my favorites too. Like everybody, like if anybody ever, like you can't even ask me a top 5 question or top 10 question because the clique you got to put the clique in the top 5, the whole clique. Because whoever you got, I got somebody for you. I don't care who you got. You name who you got, I got somebody for that. You know what I mean? Inside the clique. I don't care who it is. You name them, I'm like, bet, I got such and such. It's like playing one-on-one, but Mo was cooking. And that's just really what it was. And they wanted to work with Poke, you know what I mean? And Mo asked me to get on. He was like, and I did. We did 2 Ways, and they just couldn't rap to it. Poke heard it. Oh, nah, that's my song. That's my little brother. Nah, that's my record. He took the record and deboed it, and then that all was really supposed to go on Sky's the Limit. So Sky's the Limit, the reason why people don't...
It was held up for so long. It was coming soon for years, bro.
What's that?
Felt
Sky's the Limit?
It felt like Pokey's Wreckshop release, like between us knowing.
So they end up having like, so Wreck went to jail. So some things was happening. Like they did the deal, somebody like that, somebody stole some money. Like there's a couple things happened, you know what I mean? Poke relaxed on working, you know what I mean?
Somebody stole some money, what you mean?
Yeah, that's another story, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but somebody stole some money, you know what I'm saying?
That was pertaining to what Pokey was supposed to have?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a manager on some slick time and tried to put me in it, you know what I mean? But I ain't never signed nothing because I wasn't on that, bro. It was like fraud. Yeah, it was fraud. You know what I'm saying? He went to, I know his name and everything. I know him right now if I see him today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like, some fraud happened. And that's what held the album up. Because that happened, and then Rick had went to jail for a couple months because he had a situation, you know what I mean? And he was just like on probation or something and got caught, like, just having fun. He wasn't even tripping. Laws was just being laws at the same time. And that actually happened. And, when that happened, he, Pope wasn't really feeling the music, nothing. So the songs on the Wreckshop collabo, like Hector and all them go on Sky's the Limit. So if you take the 3-4 songs that's great on the collabo, you put them on Sky's the Limit and swap them other little radio-friendly songs, you really got another classic. You see what I'm saying? But streets didn't really like it, you know what I mean? Poke was jamming in his own right, and Wreckshop.
It was cool, but from what we heard from Wreckshop up until that point, and what we heard from Pokey up until that point, it didn't live up to what we thought.
It just didn't. It's just not the same. It just don't like. It just didn't go together. You know what I mean? And they could have, you know what I mean. But everybody around too had, you know what I'm saying, probably hadn't seen nothing like Poke since Fat Pat. Because Mo, you got to think he sing rapping, so you got different sounds and different styles. ESG was doing his thing, that's different, even though it was all great, but you got different creativity levels and different types of sounds, and I wasn't involved as much at all. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't really going up there, you know what I mean? Because every time we do records, it would be extra people around. Yeah, that's jamming. I'm like, nah, that ain't it. It's cool, you know what I mean? And after they done that 2 times too many, I'm like, I'm gonna holler at y'all, bro, I'm gonna be at the spot. You know what I mean? And then plus the time frame of when they was doing it and how they was doing it, I'd be at the house. But it wasn't even far from the spot. It was like right up the street kinda. And they was really, you know what I'm saying? But I was confident that it was gonna be good, it'd be great. You know what I mean? Until it happened and everybody felt like it wasn't. But I knew the songs from when some of the songs went on the collabo, I was like, damn, them the records they should have saved. So it just wasn't the same song. So when it came out, I didn't know what songs was gonna be on there. And I was like, oh, nah, this ain't, you know what I mean? But they tried, like it wasn't no sabotage involved or nothing. It just ain't happening like it was supposed to happen. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And nobody owed nobody nothing, you know what I mean? And Pope, before he did that, he was gonna do a deal with Robert Gillamy. And I went with him to the meeting, and then Robert Gillamy was like, man, we should do something with you and him. Cause everything in here that's smoking, that's selling, him right there. I didn't know he knew me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in there like little bro time, really, but I'm a part of the meeting because they gonna run everything about me or whatnot. And then they end up doing Regnum Call or whatever, and they did that first, and then we was gonna double back or whatever, however. And it was just a lot of moving pieces, moving parts all at the same time. And then I was back and forth kind of to the neighborhood a little bit, you know what I mean? And we was doing shows here and there, and then that's what kind of stopped the Chevis thing and started that thing. It just happened like that. And I don't remember exactly, even if I do, I won't say it, who brought the contract, but that was really kind of tore that relationship apart, you know what I mean? And it was messed up because, you know, there's some people over there that's really genuine, you know what I mean? And it was like, it didn't really mean that. Go like that, it ended up happening behind somebody else's back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I asked you for the contract, but just say such and such bring me the contract. And they the ones brought the...
On some other shit.
You know what I mean? But I'm not vouching and saying you ain't know. I'm just saying that's how it could have been. You know what I mean? Because I don't know that. You know what I mean? But that's how, and it just tore that relationship up. You know what I mean? And when you tear a relationship with Big Bro, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It be torn for real. Man, you got to work your way back with him. You know what I mean?
But he took that one really personal with the hoes.
Yeah, as he should. You know what I mean? Because I would have too. What is this? You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna say, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, so yeah, of course. Who is? Oh, okay, y'all. Okay. I see what's going on. You know what I mean? So.
Did with the Wreckshop thing, because I mean, you were a younger hot guy. They never wanted to come to you like, man, come over here.
Nobody really wanted to come to me about nothing because, for one, they thought me and Poke had our thing, which we had, and I don't think they wanted to disrespect him. You know what I'm saying? Because even in the meeting we had with Robert Gillamy, somebody had spoke out of turn, and Poke had checked them on the spot. No, that's me and Lil Bro. That's me and his conversation. Stay out of that. Like, it turned into that. You know what I mean? And nobody really, and by the time I found out anybody else wanted to do something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't really think I was even ready. Like, even though I'm a part of all that great stuff and doing all that, I wasn't ready. Like, mentally, like, I mean, just imagine I'd have turned up at that time, at that age, and got there, what arrogance would have led me, or what confidence would have boosted with that, or mixed with that, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine, I'm just speaking for me on how, I don't know how I would have acted, and seeing other artists, you know what I mean, in the industry or whatnot. I think it was just good that I played Steve Young to Joe Montana, you know what I mean? Or Tom Brady to Drew Bledsoe till it was time to be Tom Brady. You get what I mean? And then we was just doing mixtapes, and that was my thing, man, let's do mixtapes. You know what I mean? Screw Gone, we gotta do, because we lost Screw together at the Hot Rise. Like, we cried about that. That was hurtful, you know what I'm saying? We was at the Hot Rise when that happened, you know what I mean?
That's when y'all found out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And we was hurt about that. But so we went through that, but saying that to say, wasn't nobody in the clique doing mixtapes or Screw music. I was steady saying, bro, we gotta do mix. Somebody gotta pick up where bro left off. If not, somebody else gonna get the momentum or the pen. But who do we go to? Who's gonna actually do what Screw did? Who? I got the idea, but who we gonna really get to do that? You see what I'm saying? So that's another conversation. You know what I mean? But that's how we ended up making mob style mixtapes and all of that. I would have somebody make the mixtape, and then I would slow it down, have somebody slow it down to the right speed, because I knew the pocket and everything, and we would freestyle. That's how me and Hawk, we would rap on all the mixtapes. That's how I got so many leftover flows with Hawk. On top of, like, I got so many flows, freestyles just with Hawk right now to this day. You know what I'm saying?
It was a freestyle series Hawk had back in the day. I think he might have went off like the Fiesta remix beat.
Yeah, I got it.
And some other shit. You know what I'm talking about?
It's on my phone. It's on this phone right there.
I ain't heard that shit.
I heard it a year ago.
In 25 years, bro.
Yeah, I got it. I got it right now. I heard that mug. I got it right now. We did that with G.
I want to say on some of them flows he was shouting you out on there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we went together. That would be our thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did that. I ain't gonna lie. Me and Hawk would go do all the me and him did all the freestyles, pokers on some of them, but me and Hawk was going to do flows. You know what I mean? That's what probably helped me sharpen my skill, but I ain't know how to make records on my own. You know what I mean? I just knew how to help with records. So yeah, that's the one. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I probably felt like I needed some assistance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Talk about because when does Killa come into the fold with the mob style thing?
Okay, Kyle, Kill Bill. That's Kill Bill. So Kill Bill come in around through Lil No and Kojak from DEA. You know what I mean? So they come by the spot because they always pull up on us at the spot. Hawk used to stay with us at the time where we stayed together. I'm saying Hawk stayed with us. We all stayed together. So I bet they brought Kill Bill over there. Did Kill Bill come over there with D. Drew? They came over there together. I think he was there with D. Drew or whatever, or whatnot. But he definitely came over there with them, and they was telling me, Pope, like, bro, could rap. They wanted us to, you know what I mean? Just like put them on something here and there. And then they both was, D. Drew, they was like, yeah, man, we want to put you on this song or whatever. Because D. Drew really was hanging around, screwing them too, really. You know what I mean? They was like, yeah, bro, we want to do this with you. And they kept asking. I remember it was so funny. They kept asking Lil No and Run G, like, yeah, man, we put bro on this. So, man, what you think if I put him on? He's like, bro, that's Swody, bro. He could do whatever. Put him on whatever. Like, it don't even matter. And that's how I met him or whatever. But they was rapping. They could rap. And then later on, Poke just ended up being like, because I was still kind of sneaking back and forth to the hood, making little moves here and there. And Poke was like, man, if you can, man, you know what I'm saying? Let Kyle hang with you, hang around you, or be with him or whatever, so y'all can do some music, because he rap more than you. You need to rap more. And I wasn't really rapping. You know what I mean? I would rap, but I'll be doing everything else too. I was, you know what I mean? And he started coming around, and he had a job or whatnot or whatever. Kyle was cool, you know what I mean? And he would come around here and there, but not during the high rise. It was after that episode, and he actually was around on Dope Game 2000 a little bit towards the end. Like on that song, Dope Game 2000, when he say, Kyle, what's up? You know what I mean? They was together when he did that record. You know what I mean? I wasn't there, but I knew where they went and done the record and everything. And that's where he come into play. And then we was doing a mixtape, and then I just kept my word to Lil No them and Run them, because Dead End was so solid with me, you know what I mean? So I just kept my word with them. And then Dina had asked me to, you know, and I'm like, all right, bet, I consider that. And then we started doing it, because, you know, still got to learn a person, because I ain't really know him. You know what I mean? I really didn't know Kyle for real, like I didn't, but you know what I'm saying? But he could rap though, and that's how we started doing that. And slowly but surely we built off that.
Man, so okay, we go Chevis, Wreckshop, mixtapes, independent. How does the whole play with Boss Hogg come about? Because you and Killa end up eventually going from mob style to Boss Hogg.
So really, I met Slim them on some time, like just out in the world. You know what I mean? They was doing their thing with ESG. You know, and they told me like people on the north side was trying to rap like me or whatever. That's what they was saying. And it was really happening. I knew it, but I wasn't tripping. And we started collabing. We started collabing on freestyles and stuff like that. And they had all the mixtape circuit. My thing was, even though ESG was over there, I was like, bro, why you not doing mixtapes with them, or why y'all not making chopped and screw mixtapes? Even though Screw gone, if anybody got the right to rep what Screw music is, or the Clique, should be people from the Clique. But the Clique was already moved on, doing their music their way and making money. So everybody making money. Like, everybody got money for real. Like, and so that was really happening. Everybody, when I say everybody, they're everybody around us. You know what I mean? And I'm knowing, because I'm stashing bro bread, so I know we got this money. You know what I mean? His bread stash, my bread stash, and I got bread inside of his bread. You know what I mean? And we was doing that, and I was trying to figure out how they was making all the screw tape or chopped and slow money. That's really what I was trying to do. Like, bro, how they doing this? Like, cause they living off of the tapes. That's what Screw did. We supposed to be doing what Screw doing. But because everybody doing, so it's gonna probably put a lot of things in perspective when you get it, you know what I'm saying? As I'm saying it, like that makes a lot of sense. So my thing was the world catching on the Screw music now and ain't no more. You get what I'm saying? Ain't no Screw music coming out. So everything coming out now is Swisher House, Boss Hogg. You get what I mean? And I'm like, bro, we supposed to be involved. Like some kind of way, it's supposed to be some Screw baby action. And then we was already had like a respect for each other's craft or whatever. And I met him a couple times or whatnot. Then I was with him when O did the song. I was with O when he put him on the.
Oh, we ain't broke no more. No shit.
Yeah, because that was ran by me. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had, I ain't gonna say it like that. O did that and we talked about it, listened to it, and we went and done it. And when I heard it, you know what I mean? That's how that happened. And then we ended up linking up a little more. They helped me with a mixtape. I ain't gonna lie, I was doing mixtapes, but they helped me with one. My Underwear Mobster. And that was dope. You know what I mean? Because I'm just doing flows or whatnot. And then because of that, I put him on mine because they helped me with it. You know what I mean? And they used to call to pull up at Cornbreads. I used to be with the bros and them. And they was holding, they was doing their thing. And they just wanted to pull up and represent their side. And I don't know if it was like on no flexing shit or not. They just wanted to come rep, but flex for their side. And I, you know what I'm saying? I tell bro them and they be like, what you think? You think it's cool? I'm like, yeah, they just want to pull up. They ain't no, they just want to pull up. You know what I mean? All right, bro, whatever you say. All right, bet. I hit them, yeah, y'all pull up. You know what I mean? That's when they had like these 250 numbers. They whole clique had like 250 numbers. I remember that. Everybody had a 281, 250 number. And they used to be cool. And Rico, my guy, he was cool. You know what I mean? They used to pull up into Breads. But I never was really like, they gonna kill it because there's so much stuff happening in the Breads parking lot. Like it's Harley Davidson's truck, 3-2 got that. Mopo got the Gators. It's drop top business over here on Blades. It's the Villes on Swingers. Like y'all gonna pull up and they will pull up and look good, but it's 5 red cars over here, 4 red Brandy Wines over here. These the Gators, 3 Gators in a Harley truck right here. You know what I mean? And they'll pull up and we just kind of built off of that. You know what I mean? And then I was trying to get money with them. I just wanted them, you know what I mean? Share, like try and seek knowledge, you know what I mean, from them. And, you know, try to get bread with them. And I got a couple stores. They turned me on to a couple stores, but for the most part, I had to hustle in the street and do my thing on the south side. They turned me on about 3 stores, 2 or 3. They stores sold my shit and a couple about 2 more stores, and that was it. And I already kind of knew my way around. I learned my way around the North a little bit. Then I had family. I realized, oh yeah, this is the North. I got family out here, whatever. But I didn't learn all of, and they didn't really. And then we started collabing more. And then Kyle, I introduced him to them. And we started calling Killa Kyleon. We started calling Killa Kyleon. But Mike D was Carleon. You know what I'm saying? But we just called him, that was our little inside mob joke thing, you know what I'm saying? Because we used to rank and play joke, talk shit or whatever. And we just called him Kyleon or Kylie. But really, Kyleon was, you know, like, and once I went over there and he met them, he doubled back and we met him again. Because I introduced him, we did some flows and then they did some music. And we had already did a mob mixtape, you know what I mean? And technically they wanted to work with me. And then somehow he went over there and wanted to work with them while me and them was trading out stuff. And that's how it became that. And then once it became that, and I was trying to figure out how to make it an extension of what they had. Was like a mob style Outlaws type thing in my mind. Like I was like, all right, bet we could be like the mob style Outlaws, but Killa went directly Boss Hogg Outlawz on everything, and he was representing, he was jamming, he killing shit, but he already stayed on that side of town at the moment, so he over there a lot. I wasn't, so they thought they felt like I ain't mess with them as much, but I really did, because I don't mess with nobody halfway. And we just started doing music or whatever. And I had made bread, we made bread, and then I thought we was supposed to make some more bread, but we ain't make that. And then, but I wasn't tripping because Killa made bread. Because
wasn't it supposed to be you and Slim, the way it was Slim and Killa before? It was Slim and Killa, supposed to be you and Slim doing that.
How you know that?
I just be knowing shit, man. You know
yeah. So we went and had dinner and everything. And that's what we were supposed to do. And I was filling it out because I didn't want to sign with nobody. Only person I was willing to sign with was like Poke and Hawk. They was supposed to they was gonna form a label. Cause Poke didn't work like I work. He the boss, but he don't do all the boss work. You know what I mean? We just let him be the boss cause that's big bro. He gonna put in the work, but he ain't gonna do the technical, this, that, and the third. But Hawk gonna do everything by the book, straight this, that, and the third. So I didn't wanna, we was basically gonna do a joint venture collab thing, but when Kyle came along, it really changed the whole aspect of everything. Cause now somebody gets this grand idea to make a group out of it. But while they got this idea to make a group out of it, I got an idea in my mind to turn it into an extension of what the mob could be. Cause if you get me, you got access to Hawk, Poke, you see what I'm saying? Whoever we deal with or rock with. Even though this conversation ain't had, it's only been had with like me, Poke, and Hawk. Cause I'm locked in, I'm telling them, I'm letting them know what's going on. If people don't know, we had conversations. Like it was never, they knew what was going on the entire time. Even the ups, the downs, all arounds, Poke and Hawk knew up until Hawk demise. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, we were supposed to do that and it didn't happen. It had turned into some group stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll do it next. Then then he got his deal. And then I was like, all right, cool, I'm still with the clique. You know what I mean? And then I thought we was gonna do it. Then they tried, and we did songs, we was doing records, and then that turned into some group stuff. And I kind of was like, oh, okay, I'm about to check out. Cause once they turned it into some group like
and the group you talking about the Boys in Blue, that whole thing.
Well, the Boys in Blue was cool. Like I wasn't really tripping on it, but yeah, once it kind of turned into that, cause I think people thought it was a gang thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't. And I'm like, bro, I'm Southside, but I ain't tripping Screw Roll Blue. So it was just a thing that I was like, if we gonna get money and do it, cool. If we just doing this and y'all get the money, I'm gonna holler at you like, you know what I'm saying? It's been fun. You know what I'm saying? I'll celebrate y'all greatness. We good.
But when that evolves, is that when they start to saying, y'all, it goes from more of just a talking thing and now we gonna do paperwork. We make it official. It's a group. It's this and that. And people are signing it.
Yeah, they ain't do paperwork until like he got to deal with
Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm. And then they brought that to me and we just couldn't get my lawyer. I got my own lawyer. I mean, but the first time I tried to do something with him, you know what I'm saying, what's crazy is I had a lawyer that was kind of shady. And then we had a talk and they was like, man, that lawyer kind of shady. I was like, all right, bet, good looking. I ended up getting another lawyer that I met through somebody else on some other G time because I was locked in with them. And but this is way later now. But I hadn't got no money. So we working. So when we do the deal,
you hadn't got no money and y'all had been releasing music and all that.
Yeah, so with the money I got, like even the money I got was really like I basically recoup. No matter how you look at it, I recoup my bread. Cause I spent time at the studio driving back and forth, south and north. And I had already laid the music, this, that, and the third. I ain't getting no advance. I just got paid for what I got paid for. But I'm already getting money on the south side. So I wasn't really tripping, but when we tried to do the deal, my lawyer was like, they owe you this. Or whatever, but I ain't gonna go all off on that because that ain't really what you're asking me. But they was, well, you kind of is, but the paperwork was that, and it wasn't right. And my lawyer had to redline the whole paperwork to make sure that I wasn't like their exclusive artist. You know what I mean? And I wasn't tripping on it, but just the city itself, south side, north side, to do that, it gotta be right. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done it. If it would have been right, I'd have done it, but I'm young, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, and I just seen what was happening on the south side. So I'm like, hey, yo, don't leave Interscope, but they wanted to leave. But I'm like, bro, they left or whatever. And I'm like, bro, I wouldn't leave because, you know what I'm saying?
Because it was one Boss Hogg album dropped under the Interscope deal, right?
Nah, ain't nothing dropped under there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, within that time frame, I'm saying.
That ain't how that went. Boys in Blue dropped. Mr. Lee, shout out Mr. Lee, OG Lee, man, he the GOAT.
But that was still while Slim was in his deal though, right? Even though it wasn't tight, because that was what, Koch or something, which I was on?
That shit went through Southwest Wholesale.
No shit?
I ain't get $1 from that shit. Yeah, Boys in Blue went through Southwest Wholesale. Then they got their deal. See what I'm saying? That's how that went. And then I got some bread that I got recouped on. You see what I'm saying? That's how that went. Then Serve and Collect and stuff came out. That's Koch. They got out the deal to go to Koch. You know what I mean? That's how that went. They could probably explain it to you in their own way, how they wanted to or how they made, but that's how it really went. Yeah, that's how that really went in real time. It just seemed like that because so much was happening. You know what I mean? So that's how they really seemed for real. You know what I mean? There was just so much happening for real. So it seemed like that, but nah, wasn't Blue Drop, Slim Drop, and he turned up. He maxed out. Then they redid the deal because Pharrell wanted to jump in it, so they got paid again, doubled up. They got hits. They started cooking. I remember offering some bars for a song that Jazzy Faye or somebody that wrote on one of Usher's songs. They called me and I was like, yeah, man, use the it was a line that say something about I keep a dollar worth of dimes because pimping ain't easy. I keep a dollar worth of dimes because pimping in my bloodstream. And they were like, yeah, somebody already said that. I'm in the room with the writers. I'm like, no shit, that's who you working with. You know what I'm saying? Use that. That's in a singing reference. Use it in the rap form. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was really happening. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, I was on the South Side and they working on the Takeover album. So I couldn't really sign the paperwork if I wanted to, because if I get locked in the paperwork, then I can't do none of the screwed up click stuff that's about to happen.
Because they wanted the exclusive. They wanted the exclusive.
You get what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, bro, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless you finna say, hey, well, bro, here go the money. This is what we doing. This is how we moving. We going into the future like this. And we didn't really get to that. So you get what I mean? So when we ain't get to that, I'm like, all right, cool. It's all love. It's respect. We still hanging and shit, doing things. But they was doing shows and stuff. And I wasn't really invited, or I ain't gonna say invited. Yeah, I wasn't really knowing about the shows, so I wasn't really going the most. So I'm doing stuff with Poke Hawk and Poke Hawk.
But y'all had already started doing music. You just wasn't really.
We had been doing music. We had rocked out. We had been going in on the mixtapes.
So why you feel like you weren't made aware of those shows at the time? Because why you feel like you weren't made aware of the shows that they were doing?
Well,
because
they had their own thing going. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on the other side of town. I'm not around all the time. So, you know, they got most of the shows were Slim shows. See what I'm saying? So everybody else was kind of going along with Slim, really, or whatever. So that's really how that was going. And if they had some other shows, I just ain't know nothing about it. They might have felt I had money. I don't really know. I never really had that conversation with them to put it out there to say that like that.
Because the truth be told, I mean, Slim is the boss of that situation. But when you talk about the crop of artists that were coming in with that, you would be the more known artist to come in who had already had a name and had records and had
facts,
notoriety around the city, and you know what I mean?
Facts. So I guess what I feel like, or what my team felt like, because I would always seek counsel, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, with that happening, I shouldn't be listed as an and more in that situation. You see what I'm saying? If I'm, all right, so let me ask a question. Let me see how this would go. All right, so who you consider, all right, y'all, the people we talking about, you consider O a legend, Hawk a legend, Poke a legend, Mike D a legend, I said Hawk probably twice maybe, or whatever, Mo a legend. All these legends that I'm working with, right? I'm not an and more. I'm not an add-on to none of these things. And then when we start doing this, it went from me being this to like
having a name to just being another one of the guys.
David Ruffin and the Temptations. Bro, I'm not a temptation, bro. I'm not David Ruffin either, but I'm not a temptation. Now I don't care how you try to spin it. I ain't.
Did you ever have that conversation with them of like, hey, you know,
it's
I'm
common knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I did have it like, yo, bro, I ain't come to do no, like, I'm down with this and I'm down with y'all, but I ain't come over here to be no group artist. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just down with the move and the mission and whatever it brings and does for the city. If we still gonna do that, what we gonna do on the tag team mission? Like, we had the conversation, you know what I'm saying? And they was moving their way how they was moving about it, you know what I mean? I remember the conversations. I remember where it was, you know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, Slim was down with me on some stuff. We had some conversations that were real. We had conversation, I remember in Bennigan's when he came from New York one time from Koch, and I had just got doing my thing. I had just bought a bunch of wine boxes or whatever for the warehouse. I remember, and we met like 1 in the morning, and that's just, and we chopped it up about something, and we was doing that, and but just moving forward, his family was moving on his behalf, which they, you know, if I'd have had a family unit, that's how it go. But my thing was, I thought we was building a bigger family, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like mafia families or mob families, you adding another part of the family on. This is what we do. You run this sector, this, that, and the third. Kind of like Rockefeller was doing with state property, Dipset, whatever, right? You know, in my mind, you know, if you open up your mind and think broader on a broader scale to get more money, because we linking the South Side with the North Side.
It's a bigger picture.
Yeah, Pope gonna go with what you think, bro. That's cool. Like, as you look in the videos, Pope with me, he had the videos with me. He's supporting the move. We together. You get what I mean? So that's how that was really going. So just like they did it one time, and then when they went with the move again, I'm like, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Like, it ain't no love lost or whatever. Like, but I'm not getting paid enough, and I'm not getting my money on time. I'm not working nowhere, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I can't afford to. It ain't that I just can't afford to. I'm not gonna be the general manager at this club, leave this club to go be the general manager at this club, get paid potentially the same exact amount with less benefits, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Or, you know, and I just wasn't feeling like I was notified of this, that, and the third. And they may have felt like I'm from the South Side, I may run off on them, you know what I mean? Do this and do that. Cause, you know, Jeezy had his deal, not to, you know what I'm saying, with boys in the hood, and then he ain't go with them. He went with them, and we had that conversation. That's why I'm bringing that up. I ain't name dropping like that, but that's how that was brought up. So I name drop it like that. And I was like, what? Oh, so you think I'll do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, you tripping. I don't halfway mess with nobody. We either locked in like a password or we ain't. You know what I'm saying? There's no lock on the phone at all. And that's how that really went. And then Kyle just was getting it in. I was happy that he was getting his rocks and getting his jewels and getting his shine. So I'm still down with, all right, bro, do your thing. Like, I ain't tripping. I just go back to the basics. At the beginning of the day, when I wake up, I'm mob style, screwed up click. Like, I'm DEA second, third generation, baby. Like, I ain't tripping. I'll start over. You know what I mean? I don't got no problem with it. And we all, if it's either all love or it ain't. You know what I mean?
Talk about, because in the midst of all this happening, man, Hawk ended up passing away.
That's cold bleed right there.
Talk about, you know, when you found out about that. Because that's still one of the ones. It's like I never got a chance to establish a relationship with Hawk, but from what I understand,
really,
that wouldn't have been the way you would have put him to go out. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
So what's the question you asking about Doug K?
Just, man, when you found out that he passed away, man, because all this, you know, you and your Boss Hogg situation when this is going on.
So I'm trying to think. I'm not knee deep in the game with them, but we trying to figure it out. Like, so I am rocking with them, but we on the South Side every day. We at the studio, me, him, Mo, Poke, Mo, the Dunn, everybody really, except not everybody. I take that back. You know what I mean? Probably everybody that's on that takeover picture. I'll put it like that. You know what I mean? We sharing time and spending time back and forth over there at the studio. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was really happening. Yeah, man. And I was there the day. I was there. We was at the lab that day it happened. You know what I'm saying? He left to go. He left. They was gonna go play dominoes, and I was going to go to work. I had to go to work. I had a little side job at whatever, right? And we talked. We spoke, we all split up, you know what I mean? Kind of like how the movies be. And I knew they was trying to go do this or that. And I was like, man, you gonna catch up with us later, little bro? I'm like, yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I might catch up with y'all later. I'll see where y'all at. Whichever way y'all go, I'll call y'all in a minute. You know what I mean? And I ended up getting a call from one of my homies, one of my mob style homies. He move around too. He don't rap or nothing. He just one of the homies because we deep. And he was in the area. He was like in South Acres or something. And South Acres is right. They all right there. You know what I mean? And he called me talking real ecstatic. I could tell by how he was talking. Man, hey, bro, check on Big Bro. I know that's your bro, man. I know. Because he know him too. Man, call, bro. You know, call Doug K, bro. Call him, bro. Man, somebody say he just got, I don't know what happened, but somebody say something just happened. You know what I mean? And I just heard the shot. I just heard some shots, bro. Like it was, you know what I mean? Bunch. And my bro, he was solid, you know what I mean? So I started calling his phone. He wasn't answering. But when he told me where he was at and heard the area he was in, I knew where they was at. And I just sped down there. I left from where I was and sped straight to where they was or whatever and pulled up. And I must have beat like everybody, but the laws and everything was pulling up at the same time. Like I just stopped everything I was doing. Couldn't believe it, bro. It was really heartbreaking. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, ain't no way. And then I seen the car. He wasn't in his car. He was in somebody else's car. They traded cars. And the Timmy Chan, the food was on top of the car. You know what I'm saying? I could see the food. Like, the food was right there. And he was on the side of the house, and they wouldn't let us go over there by then. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you saying Timmy Chan? So this was still pretty early in it. Like this is like 9, 10 o'clock type shit.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? So they and he was on the side of the house, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh, okay. He's on the side of the house pissing. See what I'm saying? The person's house it was, they wasn't there yet or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. And that shit was just like, and I ain't gonna lie, like that shit kind of like broke me up a little bit, really a lot of bit, because that's somebody that was like a brother to me for real. Not like that was a brother to me, you know what I mean? Like we became family for real. Like just everything that we did and all the time we spent together and all the times he picked me up and all the times we did this, that, and the third, that and this. You know what I mean? It was a lot going on. And like he had just talked me into going to Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like, bro, you got to go to Jamaica, bro. I know you're young, bro, but you got to go. If we got to go to Jamaica and all of that. And I'm having paper, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting paid, you know what I mean? And he always made sure I got paid. He's one of the people that's why, like, depending on how I'm dealing with people, you in a stiff situation because that's your competition. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Him and Pokey is your competition, so I know what the solidness is or realness is. So if you play games, I'm going to know. Even if I don't say nothing, I'm going to just be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to let you just play your games and write yourself right out the script if I don't got to write you out. You know what I mean? But I know the games. I'm going to act like, I don't know. You could think you could run it, like whatever. But anyway, he's that solid. And I told him I'd go. I had booked the shit, book it. We was supposed to go, and then that happened. Then I ended up having to go still, couldn't get my money back, whatever. I didn't even want to go, honestly. And then that happened, and that was just like, it was just a weird time, but I didn't have time to really grieve and go through it really because I ended up trying to be there for his kids, you know what I mean? Because you got to hear the kids scream and holler, then I'm cool with King, Young PA, me, we locked in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So this is a kid who lost his father, then lose his second father, which is his uncle, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I just tried to be there as much as I could, you know what I mean, for them. So I didn't really have time to, it was crazy and heartbreaking all at the same time, but I just started working more, doing this more, and doing that more, and just grinding more as far as music and everything going on. I just did more of everything to kind of, and just made sure I tried to spend time with as much as I could with the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like I go pick them up, we go watch, we'll go to WWF or WWE in town, bet we're gonna go do that. Or it's a circus in town, or it's a small circus, bet we're gonna go to the small circus. I don't care what it is, we just gonna go do something. It's a game, Rockets game, playing such, we're gonna go to Rockets game. And I would just keep them together, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what it feels like to be a child going through none of that, you know what I mean? Like you just don't know, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep them solid, keep them straight, keep their head on, you know what I mean? And just keep them locked in, you know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, y'all got me, I got y'all, we good. Like, bro, don't even trip. This y'all, no matter what, we build off of this. And there's nothing you can really do because his homie's locked up. That's the cold part. So Hawk partners, Al gone, he dead, you know what I'm saying? Kojak and K, them, they locked up. So he don't have no partners. Blunt locked up. You see what I'm saying? I don't know Blunt even at all at the time, you know what I mean? I know him through a different, like, through letters or whatnot.
But that's a different era, though.
It's just, it ain't even a different era. Like, I had just kind of met him through letters because he been locked up since I met them. So I never knew him, but I know him through paper, through letters, the letter trail or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because him and Pat, he would write, check on Pat. Maybe I make sure they send him calls. Just another story, just realness on top of realness that I would try to make sure that I thought was supposed to be done to the best of my ability as part of just locking in, you know what I mean? And yeah, bro, that was like a hurtful thing. Poke took it hard. Poke took it real hard. I took it hard too. Like we both took it hard. Like I'm not gonna front. I just know Poke had just lost his mom and me and Hawk was there for him. But him and Hawk like this, even though we are like this, I'm still the little brother in the equation.
You're between name Hawk and he was sitting in the bed. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They the Twin Towers.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? That's, yeah. Say that again, hit that line, they heard that.
Between name Hawk and he, I forgot what freestyle or what that was on.
That's on, I think that's on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Not Saturday Night Live. Ain't no sleep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man.
And that was just like, man, it was cold because you got to look at it, you know what I'm saying? From my perspective, I'm looking at it from his wife. He just recently got married. He just got married. His children, his nephew, his sisters. You know what I mean?
And career-wise, he was like right there on the cusp of like...
Right there. And he's trying to really like, he don't really want to do music no more. Like he's feeling like he old. He kind of was feeling like we had conversation. I'm like, bro, you tripping. He like, nah, bro, I'm getting too old, bro. Me and Pope, we gonna put this thing together. Ghetto Dreams Entertainment is gonna be about you. I'm like, bro, I ain't tripping. Like I'm really not tripping for real. But for y'all, we gonna go all in. You know what I'm saying? If I lead the way, whatever, y'all just guide me or whatever. But I'm like, bro, you the go. He had did a Nike commercial, soccer commercial. I don't know if you ever seen or remember that or if it released because he passing him, but he ended up doing, I seen it. He showed it to me. Hawk had a Nike commercial with a soccer player. You know what I'm saying? It was finna go down on his watch. You know what I mean? And he just the GOAT. You know what I mean? One of the GOATs, bro. Like, then the fact that his brother a GOAT, because they two different GOATs. It's two different, you dealing with two different monsters. This a beast of this kind, this a beast of this kind. So it ain't even comparable. Okay, he got, if you only knew, he got chilling with my broad. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, like it's really, you know what I'm saying? They both don't want to be a baller. You know what I mean? They worldwide, really. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm a kid, but I see this. Like, Method Man, them, they know his verse. They run up to him, rap his verse, bro. It was cool. He was ecstatic about that. You know what I mean? Because we talk, you know, it's Method Man, bro. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This Method Man for real. You know what I mean?
Talking about real hip hop, real rap artists.
This Method Man for real that respect him. You know what I'm saying? And like this, and rap this verse and know his verse. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, this Wu-Tang. And Hawk always called the clique the southern version of the Wu-Tang. Like, if you ever know, he would reference that. You know what I mean? Respectfully, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, because we deep like they was deep. It's just where they
styles
do.
And
bro. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm the young gunner of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that really happened. But that shit with Hawk, bro, that shit was crazy work. You know what I mean? Like, for real, like, you know what I'm saying? May whoever, however, already got and get what they deserve by that, whether good or bad, that's coming to them, that's on them. You know what I mean? So that's just how they go. I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if I got everything to do with it, you get what you put out. Mistaken identity, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? So, you know, you took a good person. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I ain't tripping because, you know, God called them home. However, you got to, you know, the Lord called you home. You got to go. We all in line. You know what I mean? But I just know his purpose was impactful. You can't meet it. You don't really meet another. When they say somebody is a once in a generational
talent.
Yeah. Or not even talent, just person, the type of person you meet. We all got somebody you met once that you met in this lifetime that's gone, and you don't find that kind of person no more. You get what I mean? You don't get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get people, you meet people, bro, but they don't be like that. You know what I mean? So that's just what that is, though.
Yeah, man. So with when the Boss Hogg thing fizzles out, do y'all like what is the thing to say? All right, it's over, or did everybody just kind of over time end up eventually go their separate ways? You stop
I
showing
was gone. I don't know what that. I ain't had nothing to do with it. Like, you know what I mean? They did
You just gotta stop coming around, or what?
Nah. So you know what I mean? So really, what happened was so they brought so I got a contract or whatever, and I was like, okay, I need to send it to the lawyer. You know what I mean? They was like, well, it's just like the last one. I was like, what last one? The last one was with that my lawyer redline. This ain't that. They was like, nah, the last one. I'm like, well, we didn't do one the last time for part one. You know what I mean? And they was like, well, everybody waiting on you to get paid. I was like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Young Hogg was there. We met at the Sophomore 288. And I was like, why would you give me the contract last? You know I'm gonna get my lawyer to look at it. Like, why would you hold everybody bread up because of me? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'll send it to him. It's Friday, bro. I'll send it to him tomorrow. I'll FedEx it to him. I took it to FedEx and dropped it off that night on 59 right there by the extended stay. You know what I'm saying? I knew where it was because of the extended stay we stayed in years before. And FedExed it to the lawyer and got his son back. But when we couldn't really come to no agreement on nothing once again, kind of. And so part two, I was like, look, I ain't really tripping on it. if y'all want to move forward without me, I respect it. Like, I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? Me and Sensei talked about it or whatever. And I just wasn't really satisfied with how it was going. But I'm like, and they was like, well, we don't want it to look like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't with us and we ain't. I'm like, nah, bro, it's like, it don't matter what it look like, what it is. Like, you know what I mean? That's my thing. Like, it never really, bro, something always look like something that it ain't. You got to know in your chest or know with your people that you locked in with, bro, don't worry about what it look like. You know what I mean? It ain't like we beefing or nothing, we ain't tripping. Like, it's good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just ain't working out. You know what I mean? And I had a long talk with Sensei about it on Yellowstone, like between Ward and Wyoming. We walked up and down the street talking about it. And I was on the phone. They called me. We talked or whatever. And I was supposed to pull up. We did the photo shoot. They was going to give me some bread. I did the photo shoot, hung around, didn't get the paper. You know what I mean? Then ended up being at a promo show again, you know what I mean, at T-Town where everybody was performing, everybody. And then I ended up getting a check that night on a handshake type deal, and I ain't really like that because it was like nobody showed up to. I was on stage with Dina or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I remember Ro came that night with some house shoes on, you know what I'm saying? Because he ain't want to be there, bro. That's my bro. He came up there with like, but everybody performed. Hot C was DJing, You Could Hate was out. Because I gave You Could Hate, so You Could Hate was for them. That was for Serve and Collect. Well, they act like they ain't really. Slim loved it. He was down with it or whatever. So, you know, Slim, that's how he got on the record. You know what I mean? Because I had 2 verses and Slim was like, bro, just let me rap on there and, if, you know, keep it. I like, I bet. We did it at G&B. That was like the highlight of them. You know what I'm saying? We did the You Could Hate. And Ray, I pressed up some copies myself. Made singles, got the song mixed, got it mastered. He told me he felt like I was trying to do my own thing. I'm like, nah, y'all said whoever come with a record or come with a single, everybody recording. I know Kyle got some dope shit. I heard J-Dog got some dope shit.
J-Dog got Riding on Foes.
We had a meeting about whoever had dope records. Riding on Foes was already out. So I'm like, all right, here go the record. Slim love the record. He know we finna get some show bread. You know what I mean? Anyway, they ain't really like it, so they was acting like they ain't like the record. So I just gave it to, you know what I'm saying? I gave it to bro. Like, 'cause I don't got no project. So I gave it to bro. And that's how I made it on evacuation notice. And then that's what the conversation me and Bruh had at the Bennigan's that night, you know what I mean? He was just like, man, I ain't know you ain't give my bro no music or nobody no music. We went to Koch and was trying to play music. We ain't had no music on you. And bro was like, he ain't got no music on you. And he was like, man, he say they got into it because he heard all the music I had. I've got records, you know what I mean? And that's how that went. And so when that happened, bro, I just kind of checked out. I had a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Because Mo ended up dying before. Mm-hmm. So at the Hawk, even though it's a couple years, like, well, really not really. But Mo passed. 06, and I used to
Mo like 08.
Yeah, so I ended up being with Mo a lot. I spent a lot of time with Mo because he on Tampa, you know what I mean? I'm pulling up chilling with Mo while nobody was, and you know what I'm saying? I still look at Mo the same person because I knew him before he turned up. He still turned up, but he's kind of his health not doing so well. So it's not really too many could have time to pull up on him. Hawk gone. You know what I mean? It's just all weird. So I'm spending time with Mo. And then Mo passed, you know what I mean? So with all of that happening and all of that, bro, I was just like, hey, bro, respectfully, I'm gonna just, you know what I mean? So I just stopped coming around because the money was funny and I'm going to the promo shows and I took a couple L's on my own. And then I had caught like a bogus gun charge that wasn't even legit. Like the laws put a fake case on me at a barbershop. And my lawyer just straight up told me like, hey, I'm gonna whoop it for you. You just can't, you gotta stay away from barbershops and stay away from this. I'll handle it. You know what I mean? I get you straight. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, with that going on, I asked about going to some free shows or whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? I mean, by going some paid shows, because I'm just going and I'm doing stuff with Pope, really. And then I started doing, and they said they was going to hit me and they ain't really hit me back. And I ain't pulled back up because I'm like, it didn't make sense. For me, it wasn't feasible and it wasn't affordable for me to leave the South Side, drive. It wasn't affordable for me to drive back and forth to the studio and then recoup my money. Because I just took this loss, and then I caught this fake charge that they put on me. You know what I mean? So it just wasn't really feasible. And it wasn't no bull. I just ain't pull up like that. We talked. I reached out because I feel like when you got something going on with whoever, you owe everybody a conversation. At least once. Y'all ain't got to be cool, nothing. You know what I mean? So I called 3-4 different people about the shows, whatever. And I never got the call back, so I never pulled back up. And then they went forward with what they was going on. And once again, I just pressed reset. Like, that's cool. I ain't tripping on none of that. We'll catch up however we catch up. And that'll be that. I'm locked in with Dina. We forever locked in. I'm locked in with me and Ro doing more music. Key catching his stride. Key just come he was in jail. You know what I mean? And so we building again. You know what I mean? We ain't tripping. You know what I mean? And then that just happened like that. And I just stopped pulling up. I ain't had nothing to do with how they dissolved it. I got nothing to do with none of it. Walking away, I did. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't want to have I ain't want it to be, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want nobody to really, that's why I reached out to him. Because I know me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna care. If your care list go down to 1, I'm gonna take it to 0. You know what I mean? If you show me 0, I'm gonna show you -1. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not that I want to, or not that I have to. That's just my method of being around realness and G-ness and knowing what is going on. And I don't want to be low vibrational on top of hawk pads, mopeds, trying to spend time with the youngins. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring in bread. Like, what's happening? Like, are we helping each other or are we not? Like, because you know what I'm saying? I'm not halfway. I don't got no hidden agendas. I don't got no ulterior motives. I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying what I don't got. You know what I mean? I'm not on that. I'm pure with everything that I be on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and that's the yesteryears, and that just happened like that, and it's all good. They got whatever they got going on, and it happened for them how they happened. And I just think for me, it was just a thing where the Lord ain't want me involved. So for me, it was like I got saved. You know what I mean? Once again, because it's like, what would have happened from that? So I ain't got nothing to do with it. Cool, man. Move on. Hey, I need you to do this. This is do this. This your purpose. This is why I got you going through this, this, and this. Try to spend time with young, do this, that, and the third. Okay. Even though I'm fighting against that at the time, okay, I get it. Got it. I'm tripping. My bad. You know what I mean? And that's how I turn that into that. And I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? And once again, maybe I ain't supposed to be highlighted like that or be in the mix of all this, that, and the third, or be on I'm cool. I be chilling for real. Maybe I ain't supposed to be big screen Dottie or C-Dot. Like, I'm cool. And that's cool because I don't have no issues. Like, to me, everybody around me, the Hawks, the Post, the Mo's, they the big screen. They the front men. Like, not front men, but they the main guys. Like, you know what I mean? I'm an essential element and a moving particle or piece to the situation for us to have this. But look at what we lost. And nobody really feels how you feel when you lose something. So nobody cares. So you can't get nobody to really care. You get what I mean? But I understand that, and I'm looking at it from a perspective of the children. I'm thinking about the kids, really. You know what I mean? Let me try to keep them on note. You know what I mean? That's just me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the children be the future, for real. So, you know, look at what happened. The city broke up. The city got fly. Everybody went their different way. Nobody was really unified no more. Everybody got money. Everybody got egos involved. This is real facts. Like, everybody capping, it's a pissing contest. You know what I'm saying? What happens to the youth? Now everybody tripping with each other. Now the streets tripping back and forth. So I didn't want to add that element way back then. I think that's why I was never trying to be negative. Man, I'm going to just remove myself. You know what I mean? We'll catch up however, bro. It ain't no tripping. I just ain't never want the streets to be tripping or want the youth to be tripping, which ended up happening to a degree anyway. But now it's back player again. Like, it's coming back around to be player. Like, it's meant to be player. We're a player city. We're a get money city. We're a G city. A lot of people trace our DNA. Other cities and other towns, they do what they thought we was doing. You see what I mean? So that's how I look at it. Like, hey, they only doing, because I'm a student of studying. I'm going to always observe and watch. I'm going to watch the person in the far left corner, even though I'm looking straight ahead. I'm looking that way. And that's just kind of like, you know what I mean? To me, it was more about the city being okay and everybody. But I'm not finna do it at my own financial loss. Yeah. I can only do so much. Now, if I was getting money or whatever, we could have figured out how to, you know, rectify a few things or whatever. But at the same time, I'm not by myself I ain't fixing nothing. I ain't break. I'll help you. You know what I'm saying? If you trying to help yourself or you trying to help us, but I ain't the one finna fix nothing. I ain't break ever. No toys. no records, no, you know what I'm saying? No nothing, no relationships, because I ain't break it. You know what I mean? And if I am going to break it, you going to have that conversation with me and I'm going to let you know what time we on.
Yeah. Man, so after all this going on, talk about, because I had Beto on here, my boy DJ Beto.
Yeah,
and he was talking about, man, you know, the whole Nipsey Hussle connection. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P. Legends live forever. Yeah, Nip, man, that's my boy. Him and my boy, Young Hoggy, my boy, they're my guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, what my boy Vito, what he cooking? He always cooking. He gonna represent
he gonna
that
keep
UGK for life.
Yeah.
He gonna talk that trill talk. He gonna. I know what he was on here talking that talk.
He was talking this shit, and he was just saying, you know, he did the rap niggas record. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying, I think a lot of his relationship with Nip kind of involved you as well, being in the mix of y'all being out in Cali and kind of just messing around.
Yeah, it's crazy work. Like, so I had to go on the tour that wasn't so musical at the time. You know what I mean? And that was life after that, you know what I mean? And me and Ro was doing Ro and Key was doing a lot of work. That's some whole other stories. Like, I ain't name dropping, but I am, because we family in the way, you know what I mean? For sure. And I ended up linking with them through my homie Boss or whatever. And I was out there with them, and I was rocking with them. Nip, we was going out to eat. We was doing all kind of player G shit too. You know what I mean? I'm in the 6-0s. You know what I mean? Them in the 40s wasn't cool, but my boy Reddy, his half brother from the 40s, I be in Long Beach. You know what I mean? This before I had a spot out there, and we was just locking in. But me and Beto ain't even know that we both knew them or whatever. But me and Mr. Lee, I was chopping it up with Man, where you want me to start with that? Because that's kind of like a story too.
Nah, go ahead. Start at the beginning.
So, you know what I mean? I'm rocking with them. And we back and forth rocking. I'm at their studio. We on Olive Street. We working. I'm going to Slauson. My boy, me and Reddy be out there every now and then at random. Black Sam, if he even remember me, they put my tapes in. They got my Fresh Out of Favors. They got my mixtapes in the store. They selling them and giving them out. I'm giving them something to sell and dump. It was just all real. I got Crenshaw shirts before they had the red tag, all that. And we just was locked in like a password once again, you know what I mean? And them the guys, and I worked with them. And I recorded a song kind of like theirs, like rap niggas. Mine was called Never. And Kiati told me, Kiati heard it, recorded it. We recorded it early. They recorded it. My boy Young Hoggy recorded it. We was at the lab, pouring up, showing up, gassing. And Nip ain't really know who Ro was. I'm like, you don't know who Ro is? But I forgot me and Nip had already met down here while I went with Ro to a Warehouse Live show with Freddie Gibbs. It was either before or after that. I might have a timeline off. I would have to soak that in, but we, just to speed through it. And anyway, I was putting them up on Ro. He ain't really know. I'm like, bro, Ro is who you are to Cali, Ro is to Texas. That's the best way I can explain it. You know what I mean? Like you tripping. So I played him a couple songs, but the songs, had me on it, of course, because they in my stash, they in my email. And then I'm like, bro, Mr. Lee made this. I don't know if you know Mr. Lee. He like, yeah, I know Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, we stayed in New York together. I'm like, y'all stayed in New York together? Because I'm not even knowing Mr. Lee stayed in New York. He like, yeah, Mr. Lee, that's big bro. That's big bro. So I called Mr. Lee. And Mr. Lee, what's up, young wizard? What's happening, nephew? I'm like, what's up, man? I'm right here with Nipsey. Well, so we chopping it up right then and there, even though we didn't already chopped it up a few times. I just was putting we was just putting each other up on game. And that's how that went. And Lee was like, yeah, y'all both my little brothers / nephews and woo, woo, woo. And we were supposed to do some work, and I did a song. It was like, I put it on Screw Baby or whatever, because I was recording a lot of my music on the West Coast, like, honestly, like, in and out of the studio called West One. And then I did some music at their studio. Like, when he was doing Crenshaw, like, I went up, when they was over there doing Crenshaw, I pulled up a few times or whatnot, because this was when they was on Olive. This was before all of the everything else, you know what I mean? And I'm wearing Crenshaw slots and stuff before everybody. Cause it was dope. You know, this from Boys in the Hood. So I'm buying, I'm shopping, you know what I mean? So me and my homies, I'm buying young Hawk, little boy and them. They got Crenshaw merch, you know what I mean? We spreading the love. And you know what I mean? Then Beto was like, man, it's a record. He was like, bro, that song you end up letting me hear, bro, that's a song like that, bro. I got a song like that. You know what I mean, with Nip or whatever. And I was like, oh, you know Nip? He like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I was out there with them too. I was like, I recorded mine there. He was like, it kind of sounds similar to yours. And what's crazy was Nip was going to get on my record, but I had gotten in a car accident. I've been in a couple car accidents. None of them my fault. That's the cold part. Except this one little fender bender, but the major real accidents, none of them was my fault. You know what I'm saying? And so we were supposed to link back up and lock in, and we kind of really didn't. We was just going out to eat, doing random stuff. We just going to eat crustaceans, McCormick and Smith. We just doing fly G stuff, you know what I mean? And then when he told me that, I didn't hear the record yet because he didn't have the record. And somehow one day me and Kiata was together. I just let him hear some songs. We was on the Southwest at a gym or whatever, coming from therapy. I was doing therapy from the car accident, actually, you know what I'm saying? Because it was a bad accident. I actually didn't go out there for a while, and that's where we kind of got distant, me and them. And he was going to, like I said, get on the record. And I hadn't been out there for a minute because I was like, man, I was out of there, you know what I mean? But he told me to name it Rap Niggas. This was Kiati told me to name it. And to my fault, you know what I mean? I'm out of pocket, though. I hadn't been on the radio. And like, I'd never been on the radio, so I'm like, bro, they not going to play nothing by me. He called no Rap Niggas, not in screw H-Town, Texas. You know what I mean? Never, I'm not in the radio rotation. I'm not locked in with nobody. So I'm like, yeah, I hear you, bro. Like, yeah, for sure. I let JQ like the record. I played them a girl record too. They like, nah, that other record. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm debating on naming it Rap Niggas or Never, Ever. And then what's crazy, I get in another accident. Not my fault, again. But this one is just as bad as the other one, man. Cold bleed. You know what I mean? And so I don't really get with bro them for a while or mess with them for a while. So I guess, I don't know. People was saying, like, even in my DMs and messages, because some people heard the record, they felt like, you know, he swiped. But I felt like it was just an inspirational thing. Like, as artists, we inspire one another. Like, a lot of my verses come from inspirational poke hawking, whatever. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to do a record like this. So I ain't going to say he swiped me because we chill for real, you know what I mean? He was gonna get on mine. He probably like, where Cuz at? Knowing him and his voice, man, what up, Cuz? Like, you know what I mean? And cause I would be over there like all the time. Like, I pull up at my boy house, he'll pull up. We done pulled up at the same time, or we'll pull up on the same type of time. No call, no nothing, just pop up and just holler at each other, and we go whatever we gonna go do, to the lab, go get something to eat. That's what it was, you know what I mean? And his record ended up not coming out till way later as well. And it was just, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, it's like mine, but it's not like mine. You could tell or whatever, whatnot, but it's all love. Like, my thing is, if I inspired it in any kind of way or whatever had anything to do with it, you know what I mean? That's a testament to the greatness of what we trying to do and the minds we trying to spark. Because look at him and look at what he done did and what he still does to this day. Like, the people, you know, can't act like, because I told him one time when I seen him down here, I'm like, hey, yo, don't worry about nothing. The show would roll. Freddie Gibbs, J-Dog was there, had a cast on performing. I'm in my chill time, downtime, but I'm back and forth to the land. And I told him, hey, don't even trip by none of this. Like, everybody here gonna catch on a little later. Me and my homie them already up. We already on to the game. All my homies already jam you. This Bullet's got no name and Bullet's got no name too and all of that. Don't nobody know about none of this really. And then when Crenshaw hit, it hit. But most of the time, what was crazy is the times he was down here performing at Crenshaw, because now I got a spot out there. I'm out there. You know what I mean? And that's just how that went. But Beto be like, man, represent that. You gotta let them know, like, you know what I'm saying? Tell them, man. I'm like, man, it's cool, bro. Like, nah, it ain't cool. You know what I mean? You know, you need it, because ain't nobody gonna give you your flowers. And I'll be like, man, it's cool. I smell them every day on my own. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, the game and the world miss bro. Like, he really solid. Like, You know what I'm saying? Our relationship was pure and genuine. You know what I mean? It was really solid. You know what I'm saying? And Mr. Lee, I know Mr. Lee was messed up about that because, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Lee really rocked with him. And me and Mr. Lee, we chop up when we chop up with. He did Blue Laces 1 and Blue Laces 2. And that's why I made the reference on Once Upon a Time on Coke album. You know what I mean? When I say riding around bumping Nipsey Hussle Blue Laces, because me and my bro lived that third verse out on, because me and my partner got a situation like that in real time. And it's Mr. Lee track, so my brain somehow synced it all together for the verse, for because Dino was just like, man, I just need you to do whatever you're going to do on there, then I'll be ready. And I was like, I bet. And it all came together, but that's the tie-in to that. Right. And, you know, legends live forever, you know what I mean? Everybody represent them from the east to the west, worldwide, you know what I mean? Crenshaw, Slauson, you know what I mean? They always, they gonna always represent, they represent for what they represent. And their neighborhood was just like my neighborhood. So I learned my way around their neighborhood. It's the same setup. It's just in a different city. I'm talking about the same setup. The blocks, like, it's like Yellowstone, the third ward. You got North McGregor, South McGregor. Then you have the next neighborhood. But their neighborhood is right here in this pocket. You know what I mean? They corner store right here. I learned my way around so quick. I was like, oh, okay, bet. And then we went to it was a couple of times they called me to come pull up. One day, it's a picture probably on his gram where they had like the Maybachs and Rolls Royces at the W, and they called me, but I was on my way to the airport. They're like, man, come pull up on this. I'm like, I'm on the way to the airport. I'm tapped out. They like, nah, you got to come pull up. I'm like, I ain't got $1 to my name. My flight leave in 45 minutes. I'm 3 minutes from dropping the car off. I probably got like $100 in my pocket. If I missed this flight, they keep this car, you know what I'm saying? And I already had some business to come take care of back home or whatnot. And that's how that went. But it was good because I eventually ended up linking him and Ro. You know what I mean? Which was good for the culture and good for the game. Like, you know what I mean? I think that was needed. I'm glad. I wish they could have done more music. You know what I mean? Even though me and him ain't getting none, like it ain't really about me. I just wish they could have got some more in and got some more off. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or whatever. And I think him and Trey they had the same management or whatever or whatnot. And I wish they just had more records, man. But yeah, I ended up helping put that apart. Ro wanted me to go with him when he went and done that. But once again, I just had got back. I came home to visit. Really, I came home and he was like, hey, bro, we finna leave and we finna go to LA in the Bay. They was driving. I'm like, I can't go. He was like, nah, you gotta go. But he don't understand at the time why I'm telling him I can't go. I'm like, I can't go. Like, I can't go. Like, my tour starts tomorrow here in the city. You know what I mean? And they were like, man, he was hot at me. He was mad, and I respect him because Poke them been mad at me before. Hog them been mad at me before. I'm like, I don't have nobody to do what I'm finna do for me. I have nobody to work the offices and work everything that's finna happen. I got nobody to catch none of these passes or anything for what I need to get done. I gotta do it. If y'all leave in a couple days, I'll do it. Or if anything happens early or prematurely, I'll just take care of it and then I'll fly and I'll ride back with y'all. But I didn't. But he called me when he was up there. He called me at the studio. I talked to him when he was there. And as soon as he got back, we linked. He told me about everything. It's like this all love. Like, man, greatness became of it. You know what I mean?
Man, rest in peace, Nip. Man, talk about, because you mentioned it a couple of times, talk about your relationship with Lil Pat, with Fat Pat's son.
I'm my dog. I'm one of my best friend right there. I'm my boy. We family for real. We locked in. Like, that's another conversation, another story, probably for another time, but just surface level, to give it to you. Like, I met him through Doug K, and I got to know the family, and met him, and we locked in, we close, and then we just locked in on some family time. He was a kid. I was young. We talked about something he probably don't even remember. I didn't even understand what he was talking to me about at the time. But the way the universe worked and the way the energy worked, we just ended up building a relationship, and I ended up being around more, him and Hawk, and then we ended up being family for some time. And for that time, we ended up being family. His family became my family. We all became family. We became another extension of family members. or whatever or whatnot. And to this day, no matter what, we still family. Like, I love him. You know what I mean? I talked to him earlier, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy. And I just wanted to make sure no matter what, that he was straight. Because don't nobody really care about you. It ain't that you know what? Don't nobody got time to care. And then the rest don't care. You know what I mean? But we just locked in, and I just made a promise to myself about some things that I was going to do for him. And while I was doing that, or before I started doing that, we ended up, it's a story, bro. I ain't going to drag it out, but we ended up becoming family tied in. And so we family, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's what that is, like, for real.
I would probably say this is probably the most detailed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's probably why I don't try to talk a lot, because my stories got details to them. Yeah. And if I speed through them or if I rush through it, I try not to tell. I just try to mind my business. But at the same time, I ain't really hiding the truth from nobody neither, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, it just is what it is. But some of it is just delicate situations. So, yeah, and then a lot of this shit they got to pay for. You know what I'm saying? I got game and knowledge and wisdom. I give it to the youth or give it to the kids or give it to who deserves it. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad I was able to do this for you. You know what I mean? I appreciate your greatness and over the fact that you overstand being patient with me. Because I know at first I was almost with the dribble. Like, yeah, bro, let's just do what we be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I'm the interview type. I'm gonna mess the interview up. You know what I'm saying? I try not to, but I mess the interview up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was good, man.
Yeah,
everything
that's
was
me
good.
and my boy saying, like, I messed the whole interview up. But yeah, everything's solid, everything pure. You know what I'm saying, man? May everybody get what they deserve. May everybody catch their blessings, man. Everybody be good. We good. I'm good. You good. Man, it's up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's what it is, man. So,
for sure.
You know what I mean? And we'll lock in again and we'll get what we need to get to. Maybe we'll have us some eatery or something in Chop Game or whatever. Because who knows? I might do a couple interviews, might not. Might chop it up with some people, might not. You know what I mean? But so, if anybody I got on the list, you one of them. So we solid.
There it is. Hey, man, it's Donnie Houston Podcast. I'm Donnie Houston. Chris Ward. Hey, man, we're up out of here.